Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Wednesday edition of the closing argument. Today is August the 20th, 2025. I'm Jerome Gayman, and I'm your host. We have a great guest today. My guest is the Honorable Hector Molbat. He's the president of community radios in Liberia. But before that, let's play something that I saw this morning, and I almost dropped from my chair to see Japanese girls singing a tune from Liberia. Something like, what God, if God say yes, man can't say no to Joseph Workhouse entrance at the airport. It was funny. Funny. When God say yes, man can't say no. The Japanese choir was singing, whether they were choir or cheerleaders. Myean, if you have that tape, can you play it here? It was special, but it caught me off guard. Of all the songs in Liberia, our national anthem, some great patriotic songs that could have been sung. I think I heard when God said yes, man can't say no. Who directed the choir or the cheerleader, we'd like to know. But it was kind of strange. In diplomacy, but anyhow, on the international front, from my end here, it looks like my president, Donald J. Trump, is under pressure, serious pressure, to stop or bring the war in Ukraine to a halt. Yes, play that song at the hospital there. I don't know whether it's the hospital. There you go.
President Black Ice, welcome here at the facility.
In one of those videos, they were singing, when God says yes, man can't say no. It was something to behold. I think I saw that either on CNN or one of the radio stations. I guess this particular clip is coming from the executive mansion. It says executive mansion. Okay, let me welcome Mr. Samson Masere. Welcome to our listening audience, Care Radio. I think it's 95.9 FM in Monroe. Mr. Masere, how you doing there, sir?
I'm okay, Mr. Gayman, and how are you doing also?
Great. Let me go through some of the headlines. We have a great guest here. Mr. Hector Moruba, the president of the all community radios in Liberia, and the CEO of Radio Bezon. And from our understanding, we are now live, being carried by Radio Bezon all over the Republic. I think Radio Bezon go as far as Riverside, Nimba, Bong, Mangibi. So if you are listening to us via Radio Bezon, I am Jerome Gayman, and I say welcome to the audience. Welcome to our program today. Let me go through some of the headlines, and then we will bring on Mr. Hector Moruba. From our newsroom in Monrovia, they are reporting Chief Justice of the Supreme Court says the judiciary will no longer be treated as a stepchild to the other branches of government. Citizen Movement for Change CMC backlash ruling. Unity Party Chairman Luther Tappet recent comment or statement of his party's intention to hold talks with CMC. Justice Ministry denies social media report that Minister Oswald Tuet boycotted the ceremony marking the retirement of the former Chief Justice at the Temple of Justice. And away from home, let's go on to South Africa. It says here, a permanent South Africa is that Minister Fireshot actually had a gun, fire a shot or shots to fend off violent gangs that attacked him and his guests. South Africa. The Republic of South Africa, a parliamentarian member of parliament and his guests were being mocked. And he had to use gun to fire a few shots to fend them off. You remember a few years ago, the musician Lucky Dube was murdered in similar style. Let me go to the front pages of our newspaper. Front Page Africa is reporting Gongloe criticizes Boakai administration over Japan's trip. Says government is repeating the past mistakes. And the headline reads, Gongloe blasts Boakai administration over Japanese delegation. Recurring abuses says government failing to break away from the past negative trends. He termed the entire trade legalized theft. That's Mr. Gongloe. Weekend surges threatening single properties as coastal erosion crisis deepening in Congo Town. Police probe 2 men for impersonating Front Page Africa's managing director, Rodney Sie. The fight at the United Methodist Church has been settled. The civil law court at the Temple of Justice has put an end to the ongoing fight over church properties between the United Methodist Church, the annual conference, and the group that broke away from the church calling themselves Global United Methodist. The court rules that if the Global United Methodist wants to break away from the church because they believe that the church believes and have positively sanctioned gay marriage, then they have no right, no jurisdiction. They broke away. They should go and form their own church. They should go ahead and build their own infrastructure, but they have no claim. So the pro-gay side of United Methodist Church won. An editorial from the Front Page Africa said Minister Pierre's defense of President Boakai bloated delegation is a disgraceful betrayal of public trust. current Lutheran hospital lead Boe initiative against gender-based violence in Lofa County. That's from Zozo. Current Lutheran hospital in Lofa is leading a growing effort to combat gender-based violence in Lofa County through a dedicated program to provide free treatment, survivor support, and widespread community education. Civil society pushes back as GSD demand transparency in Liberia drug crisis. In the wake of the ongoing fight against drug abuse, a civil society organization, Global Action for Sustainable Development, has called on the national government for key documents marking references to the Freedom of Information Act. The CMC rejects Unity Party chairman's call for talks, accused the ruling party of misrule. The Liberian investigator, Representative Anthony Williams, warned boycott rubber ban threatening farmers' livelihood in Liberia. The Liberian investigator, Finance Minister unveiled 2025 through 2029 strategic plan to drive inclusive growth aligned with national agenda. And this one is very, very curious and very important. They say EPA to crack down on noise pollution. I have interest in this one because we've been talking about this for years. This was published August 2025. Liberia Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, is taking on two major environmental challenges, launching a nationwide crackdown on noise pollution and advancing the country's first climate change law. Speaking Tuesday at the Ministry of Information's regular press briefing, EPA's Executive Director, Dr. Emmanuel Ure Yakpawolo, announced new measures to control the widespread use of loudspeakers in churches, mosques, neighborhood clubs, funeral homes, and other city streets. Hello? Okay, so the EPA is saying churches are making noise in the streets. Every corner you go, either a mosque, a church, some Holy Ghost, some prophet, making noise in the morning, all times of the night. This one, the government has a point. You cannot do that. So here we are. Finally, the Press Union of Liberia deplores legal representation for journalists facing criminal charges in Riverset. August 20, the Press Union of Liberia has deployed distinguished journalist and attorney at law Bruce Bowe to represent two Liberian journalists, Eric Opadu and Matusila Gay, who are currently facing criminal charges in Riverset County. The charges of criminal contempt of court and criminal coercion stem from a publication by the journalist that alleged corruption within the Yakba Town magisterial court. So the judges over there got fed up with their writings and decided to charge them with contempt, and they are in jail. Mr. Masare, let's bring in our guests, Mr. Hector Moruba.
I don't think he's backstage.
He's not backstage?
Not yet. He's not backstage.
Okay, let me make sure because he just called. And hopefully he has the link. So Masare, talk to us about what's happening on the ground while I call Mr. Moruba.
So today, in fact, not too long, TCA covered another shocking situation with the Liberia Justice Enforcement Agency, and I'm currently waiting on Myean to cue that the video. where the Liberia Justice Enforcement Agency arrested a very huge quantity of drugs with some cash. That's the latest story now in the country. And then they had a press conference. So I'm currently waiting on mine. And also today, the Chief Justice, Justice Yami Gbese, finally took office as Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, and that occasion was hugely graced by the Vice President along with Speaker Richard Kong. And not to stop there, also today, we saw Honorable DJ Blue, Bernard Bensi Blue, putting up a vision 2030 for District 17, and on how he want his district to be. Mr. Gayman, you get me? It seems. Also today, we saw DJ Blue, Bernard Benson, putting up a blueprint concerning his district development. And also on today, we also followed the, let me see, let me check my phone. So the citizen movement for change to also decline. The Unity Party chairman, Reverend Luther Tappert, claimed that the Unity Party is open to negotiation, or that the CMC is open to negotiation with the government. And the Justice Minister as well denied allegation of not attending former Chief Justice Siane Yo farewell ceremony. And today, President Boakat, that's the latest story so far from Japan, away from whom President Joseph Yuma Boakat. So I want to get a video of the president.
Make sure you check in the back when our guests come on.
All right, I think so. The guest is there. Let me see.
Okay, great.
The guest is at the backstage. Try to add. See what I can have. So be talking. Let me see what I can get mine on to do that adding, because it seems like let me hear hard time here for my end.
Okay, bring the guest on, and then later on you can play the video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while we're having little technical difficulties with Care Radio, we will bring on our guests, and we are going to go into the different topics. Mr. Hector Moluba is the president of our rural radio stations in the country. He is also CEO and radio manager for Radio Western in Grand Bassa County.
So the guest is not in the backstage. That Chief Tomalin and Myean at the back.
Okay, let me double
I don't
check.
know where that feedback coming from. Somebody is giving a bad feedback.
Yeah, it's got to be from your end, because there's nothing on this end. Ladies and gentlemen, while we are working on our link with our guests, we want to talk about these issues. Journalists being arrested in Riverside County for accusing the magisterial court of corruption. So they are charged with contempt. That's what's happening here. They are charged with contempt. Let me welcome Mr. Victor Nagbe. Mr. Nagbe, how you doing there, sir?
Hey, Mr. Gayman, how are you?
Excellent, excellent.
Mr. Mansouri, how are you, sir?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, that's
Chief.
great. That's great. Let me welcome our audience as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to share the show. I see here, I don't know if you've done so, Mr. Gayman, but a few of our regulars are here. Roland, I'm not sure if I've seen Roland Toe with a double E, watching Seleke. I don't know whether he's coming on, but Seleke is watching. And of course, Fix Electronics. Thanks for being a faithful partner on this joining. Jeremiah Kule is also watching. I'd like to say welcome, and all others who are watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Jeremiah Kule is watching us from Mississippi Street, Greenville, Sano County. You got to mention where they call him from, man.
That's right. That's right.
From Greenville, Sano County.
Greenville, yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And I watched a video recently about a beautiful city in Sino called, I think it's Kentucky.
Yeah, the southeast, for some reason they also have a lot of the southeast southern USA cities. Mississippi,
right.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Let me welcome our guest, Mr. Hector Moroba. Mr. Hector Moroba is joining us from the port city of Buchanan. Mr. Moroba, I think you need a little more light, but it's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Your background is a little dark. We'd like to see you, but welcome to the show and welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the invitation.
Excellent. With me are Mr. Victor Nagbe and Samson Masere. But before we go further, let me welcome our audience, our people joining us by way of Radio Bezon, the largest radio station in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. Mr. Hector Mora, tell a little bit about Radio Bezon and how big, how great, what is your wavelength?
Okay, so Radio Bezon is a community radio station established in 2004, and we cover the entire Grand Bassa, the entire River Seas, a significant portion of Nagbe, Bon, and Nima counties.
Excellent. Mr. Nagbe, that's a huge audience there. That's a range you want to be a part of.
It is. That's a huge range. And Mr. Malva, welcome to the set. And let's welcome your audience in Radioland as well. I'm sure they're listening to you.
They are, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Great, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining the show, this is the closing argument. Our Wednesday edition today is August the 20th. I'm Jerome Gayman. I will be your host. Our special guest is Honorable Hector Moroba. Hector Moroba is the president of the Liberian Community Radio. He will tell a little bit about that. And he's also the CEO and station manager for Radio Bezon, the largest and the oldest radio station in Liberia, actually, that served the entire Grand Bassa County, the entire River Seas, a significant portion of Nagbe, Bon, and Nimba. So if you are in Radio Land, we are in good hands. This is the closing argument where we discuss current issues affecting our country. Important folks come out to tell us what is it that they are doing, what's happening. And we are fortunate to have Mr. Hector Moroba as our guest. Mr. Moroba, introduce yourself. Who are you and what is it that you do? I know you wear several hats.
Yes, sir. Thanks again for the invitation. I'm Hector Moroba. Like you know, I'm a Liberian journalist. I've practiced for 22 years, and my journalism work has hugely focused on development communication. That what I've been doing. I've been station manager for Radio Bezon since its formation, and then I became president of the Association of Liberia Community Radio, which is the umbrella organization of 65 community radio stations across Liberia. I am the president. I'm serving my second term. I became president 2018 for 4 years. My 4 years and I sought re-election. I was re-elected by my colleagues, and so that's what I do. And basically, the association, like I said, is the model. It's the umbrella organization or model body of all of the community radio stations, and we are focused on um, advocating for the rights of journalists, advocating for the rights of community radio stations, seeking support, financial, technical training, just everything that has to do with making the station sustainable and viable, professional, and efficient and effective in their operations.
Wow. So tell a little bit about Radio Bezo. I know you said they were
Okay,
founded.
Radio Boyzone 2014. Sorry, 2004.
Okay. How did that come about?
4. Okay. Okay, so Radio Boyzone, we started as group of amateur journalists, group of young men who were curious about engaging into broadcast with the objective of providing our people of Basa with communication. And then the modern war in 2004 disrupted our broadcast activities. But then by that time we were called Love FM. It was owned and operated by LCM. So when the war came and that station was disrupted and destabilized, we again thought to do our own as young people in this time for the community, because you had the Warren fashion model invader ground Basa County. So we thought to do our own as young people in this time for the community. So we again started
Well, it looks like we are having some technical difficulties in his studio. Network problem in Liberia as usual. So you can see he's frozen, but the importance of community radio, Mr. Nagbe, across the country. When you talk about communication, people talk about the big stations in the urban areas. But like you said, in all 15 counties, they have all the rural radio stations that depend on either rebroadcast or relaying. And it is true that the folks outside of Monrovia, Buchanan, Greenville, the big cities, they get informed. So this is a very important arm of our communication network that most people take for granted. These are the guys who are actually in the trenches. I don't know if you have any radio station where you come from, what part of the country you come from, in the Barobo area. I know they have branches there. I was going to ask him about community radio stations in those areas.
Right. Yes. Of late, when I was growing up there, we didn't have a radio station. We were all listening to ELBC and ELWA. But of late, there is a radio station now that is, a local radio station. I know that because every now and then, we have to find a way, to keep the lights burning. So I'm aware of that. I'm just not sure which radios, which network they're affiliated with. I'm going to assume probably the government, like ELBC or so. But there is one. Yeah.
Okay.
But I see Mr.
Morba,
Morba
are
is
you
back
back?
with us.
Yes, I'm back, sir. Sorry for the network issue.
Okay, you want to continue, or you want to go find another time to go to the studio in Monrovia?
No, I can continue.
Okay. Well, you were giving us a history of Radio West on how they came into be from Love FM to where it is. Continue from there.
Yeah, so as I said, after the invasion, the model that Warren fashion model invaded Grand Bassa County, there was no medium of communication as it relates to radio. So we group ourselves as professional young men. Say, look, and in fact, there were communicable childhood diseases all over the place. So there was no way to use mass communication to reach the vast majority of the population. That's how we group ourselves and say, let's establish a radio station, a community radio station. And then we started to select different names. So we chose this name, Bwezon. Bwezon in Bahasa means dirty basket. And again, there was this belief that nothing good came to Bahasa, especially in Buchanan City, in Bwezon City, that would stay. So we're going to use this name, Bwezon, as a challenge. Since they say when it is Bwezon, it means nothing good comes to stay. We name this station Bwezon, and this station will stay. And that was the motive. That was our conviction behind the name Bwezon. And since that station was established with the name Radio Bwezon, it has succeeded. It has helped several other radio stations to grow in Bahasa and across the country. So that's how Radio Bwezon actually started. It came out as a convention, as a belief of young people who wanted to see mass communication. Spreading information of communication, development, peace, and reconciliation to the people of Bahasa and far beyond.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, my guest here is Mr. Hector Maloba. Hector Maloba is the CEO and manager of Radio Bwezon and president of community radios in Liberia. Radio Bwezon covers the entire Grand Bassa County, Riverside, significant portions of Magibi, Bong, and Nimba County. So the range is huge. Mr. Maloba, tell us a little bit about your qualifications. I heard you graduated recently from Cottonton.
Yes, sir. I hold a BSc in mass communication and public administration, and a master's in public personnel administration.
From Cottonton, congratulations! I saw the graduation. I think we got another Cottonton guy here. Nagbe, this is your fraternity brother.
Hey, Mr. Mova, welcome to Scorpion Nation. It is good to have another Scorpion on set. Congratulations. It's good to know that
Thank
you
you,
went
sir.
through. Yes, it's good to know you went through Epiphany Hall. Talk to us a little bit about the kind of program that you broadcast on your local radio station, because I know these stations are very, very helpful and very useful, very vital in disseminating information to our people. So, what kind of programming do you run on your stations and rebroadcast, I guess, on your substations?
So our session is a community radio station, and it is premised on peace, reconciliation, and development. So that's our focus. Our programming are heavily focused on promoting peace, on promoting development, promoting reconciliation, and yes, we do politics, but our focus is not heavily into politics. We do politics in that we use our broadcast to deal with accountability issue, to deal with transparency issue. But heavily we are involved in promoting peace, reconciliation, development of Radio Bwezon. And then as we started that, Mercico, an American-based organization, also came. A media development group came, and it was a coincidence. They took him with the same idea that the essence of community radio station is to promote peace, to promote development, and to promote reconciliation. So from Radio Bwezon, Mercico, the issue about promoting peace, reconciliation, and development spreads across the country. So this now becomes the focus of every community radio station in Liberia. Yes, we would deal with other issues, but our focus is on peace, promoting the peace, promoting reconciliation, promoting development, and amplifying and magnifying Liberia cultural heritage. Most of our cultural programs are culturally related. Like we deal with traditional music. It could be gospel music. It could be the secular song. But everything just community based, community oriented.
Okay, let's talk about the different counties. How do you reach your audience? Because it looks like we know for a fact that everybody doesn't speak the Queen's language. how do you reach those places, those corners where English is not spoken, primarily spoken?
On Radio Boson, we have, apart from the Bassa vernacular, which is widely, listened to and spoken data in Bassa, we have 11 additional dollars on our program. So we have $12. You'll be surprised to know that we have the Fountain people who are also in Buchanan. They have a program on Radio Boson. We have the Fuda people, who are not from Liberia. I mean, you could say that way. They also have a program. So we try as much as possible to reach every sector of our community, because again, we are an information channel. So if you let one sector of the community out and they are not being informed, anything that happened to that sector, it will affect the rest of the community or the rest of the sectors. So I mean, our programming is inclusive and is tailored, and all of these different dollars, their programs are tailored in line with Radio Boson objective, promoting the peace, promoting reconciliation, promoting development. And that's how all of the different vernaculars or the different dollars tailor that program after Radio Boson programming.
How do you get sponsorship? Who sponsors you? How do you keep all the radio stations afloat?
What you talking about, Radio Boson as a station, or
no, we're talking about
community radio stations?
We talk about the Liberia community radio that you're representing. You say they all over the country. How do these radio stations sustain themselves? Are you sponsored individually, or how does it work?
Well, individually, I mean, there have been a lot of trainings, and they're one of the areas we focus on. Aliko, that's one of the areas of concern.
Well, obviously, communication, the network in Buchanan is not as great. And Mr. Hector Moloba is freezing, continually freezing. Mr. Nagbe, we have been, when I got to Liberia in 2003, right after the peace accords were signed, one of the major information deficit was how Mr. Jack Klein gets information from the UN to the rest of the nation. And some of the reasons that came about was, how do we transmit our information, the UN information from Monrovia? They had Radio Veritas, they had UN Radio, but besides those major ones, I think Radio Veritas was the Catholic network, and then the UN Radio. But then how do you go from there to the rural areas? And the community radio system came into being. And they began to broadcast in basically all the vernaculars in Liberia. So if you didn't speak English and you spoke Mandingo, you had your means of communicating with your folks through the local radio stations. If you spoke Kra, you spoke Gisi, that's how it went. So, Mr. Moroba, how if I wanted to open or I operated a community radio in Foya or in Vanjima, how do I get going, and how do I get sponsorship?
Yeah, again, that's why it is called community radio station. So if an individual, I mean, and we are seeing these kind of things, and where individual will come and say, look, I mean, he will plan a radio station and cause a community radio station. But community radio stations have clearly defined objectives. I mean, there are criteria. Before you can be called a community radio station, there are criteria that you have to fit into those criteria. So you can't just come and say, this is a community radio station. That's why we have up to 87, community radio stations. But by definition of Aliko and standard definition, we have in our membership 65. Those 65 are the stations that fit into the standard definition of community radio. However, there are individuals who open a radio station in the area, and because they know community radio stations are popular and people center kind of way of communication. They will come and say, look, there's a community radio station. But the people know the true radio station because, like I said, there are criteria, kind of defined criteria. So again, a true community radio station is sponsored by the community. If you say you are a community radio station, you belong to the community. We have something we call the community radio station is for the people, by the people, and of the people. Like we say, democracy. So once it is a community radio station and situated in a community, the community should be able to provide some level of support to that community radio station. However, it becomes the responsibility of the management team of that radio station to solicit external support. There where our training comes in with innovation, creativity, resource mobilization. So all these training are all meant to provide the kind of skills to management team to the guys who manage this radio station, so that they manage a radio station that is effective, efficient, and sustainable.
Okay, let's talk about management here. Okay, you got all the radio stations under your auspices, right? Tell us what is the criteria to becoming officially recognized as a community radio station, and what are the criteria? What happens if I broke your rule? Do you have a governing body that can suspend, expel, revoke? Are licenses involved?
No, licenses that is the level of the government of Liberia. You have different agencies of government that are responsible for these things. So LTA, the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, is responsible to provide license. The Ministry of Information is responsible to provide permit. Okay, so that's how it works. So our own is we just provide oversight, and what we can do is, if you violate or you went against any of our criteria or policies or regulations, we can suspend you. Based on the gravity, we can expel you as a member of ALICO. But the criteria of a community radio station is it should be situated in a particular community. You must have a board of advisors, and the board of advisors should be comprised of the different stakeholders, the different sectors. You got to.
Well, who is the guy who is in charge of telecommunication again? The guy with the big generator budget. He has to do better. Eh?
Fagan?
No. The LTA guy.
Oh, not Abdullah Kamara anymore.
But the guy with the $3,600 generator fee, they have to do as much
Patrick Hunter.
Patrick Hunter has to do. Yeah. They have to do better to make sure that our signal the folks are paying for, that it should be able to go, because Buchanan is only 88 miles away from Monrovia. I know the weather, it's rainy season and all of that, but Buchanan is very close to Monrovia. They shouldn't have that much of a problem with signal, but that as it may be, that's what it. But Masare, we are talking about, is your radio station fall within the community radio as we speak, or how your radio station, Kia Radio, will be classified? You are muted.
All right. Get it now?
Yes. How will Care Radio be classified? Is it a community radio station, or what category will you fall under?
No, Kia Radio is not a community radio station. Kia Radio is among the Monrovia-based radio station, and I think the community radio station are smaller institution radio station that are situated in rural Liberia. They call it rural broadcasting. I think Mr. Hilton Mobile Kevin, he is live inside the Bay. So they have the rural broadcast institution where you find the RPG, Radio Cantor, and all these small radio stations, man, that are in a rural area. In fact, UFN also have their rural broadcasting system in Seleke PA, and they also get one, if I'm not mistaken, in Greenchide. But Kia is not a community radio station, in that category.
Okay, Mr. Hector Molba, tell us what are the radio stations? Let's say Care Radio, Truth FM, OK FM. Why aren't those people considered rural community radio stations? Why they are not?
Yeah, because they fall in a completed. I mean, they fall into a different category. Their objectives, their missions and vision do not place in that category. As a matter of fact, in Liberia, we have 5 categories of radio stations. 5 categories. So you have public radio, like the state-run radio, which is like ERBC. I mean, ERBC. I mean, it's one of the categories. You have commercial radio stations. There are stations that are purely commercial. Then you have private. I think Kia Radio will fall in that category, private station. And then you have the faith base, like these religious ELWA, United Methodists. You got the faith base, and then you have the one for these concessions companies like Firestone. Some of these concessions they have their own companies. So we have categorized the different radio stations into five. I mean, because all of these are meant to give community radio station, like I said, I mean, a unique identity, because you don't want, I mean, somebody having the private radio station, you know, I mean, your structure, and that's why if a community radio station, the structure are completely different from the commercial radio station. It is a station that is owned by the community, and its ownership should be a representation of the community. Like I was saying, the board of advisors should be comprised of people from the women group, and it's mandatory people from the youth, from agriculture, from education, from the health sector, from the transport, from the marketing association, because from the wheelbarrow boys, the pimping boys, because these are the major sector or stakeholders of the society by definition of community radio station. Unlike the private station, the owner would decide, say, look, I want to put Mr. Gayman as my board chair. I want to bring Hector as a co-chair. The commercial station, you know, so community radio station is just a completely different kind of radio, and that's why we say it's a different kind of radio.
Mr. Nagbe, it looks like we are talking about similarly a non-profit and a LLC.
Yeah, sounds like it. I was wondering, Mr. Malva, is back in the day there used to be the Liberia Rural Communications Network. Does that still exist? Are you guys a member of it, or does it not exist anymore?
No, it doesn't exist any longer. In fact, it was after the LRCM you're talking about. So community radio stations came after that idea, because that station. In fact, I think there were 4 of those. One were in Zwedru, one were in Vonjema, and 2 other counties, other 3 or 4 of those back in the days. So the concept was to promote development. That was a development communication model that was set up by and sponsored by USAID. So as a result of the war, those stations, you know, were vandalized and they were closed. And so community radio stations now, the idea came after the stations you're talking about, but they are no longer in existence.
Thank you. Are you guys a part of the press union?
So like Mr. Gayman said, community. Say that, sir?
Are you a part of the press union of Liberia, or is it just for print media?
Yes, I am.
No, but
I am a member of the press union of Liberia.
Community radio system.
Almost all of them.
Go ahead, Hector.
I didn't understand that question, sir.
Victor.
No, I think you partially answered it. I was wondering whether you're part of the press union of Liberia. You say yes, you are. Meaning Aleko is a part of the press union of Liberia, correct?
Yes, Aleko is what you call an auxiliary group under the press union, because you know you have different groupings. You have the Aleko, you have the Female Journalist Association, you have the Reporters Association. So these are auxiliary groups under the press union of Liberia. Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this: recently, the press secretary to the president has come under fire for what has been perceived as restrictive measures for certification at press functions at executive mansion. Many people, including the international rights groups, have find that to be an attempt to stifle or muzzle the press. Community radios, do you guys send representations? Do you get accredited to cover events at the executive mansion?
No, not at all. We've proffered that on many occasions, but they don't. The only time they consider community radio stations is during election time, because the community radio station, these stations reach vast majority of Liberian people, as a
Absolutely.
matter of fact.
And I'm
So
surprised hearing
once
that
the
from you.
second
So
election,
are you
they
saying
come to
are you saying
they
are you
come.
saying the government of Liberia is not utilizing you guys at all? Or
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They only come to these stations during election time. I mean,
right.
they don't. I mean, all of their functions, all of their functions, their major functions, they exclude the community radio stations, and it is not that they exclude. What I know is, and what they normally do, they will include these radio stations if it is budget allotment. They will make these allotment and include community radio stations. But then, in actual sense, there will be no representation. But then, where does the money go? So that's the kind of game they play, and we know this. We know this game. But like I said, because we are a unique kind of body, we don't want to be running after government and people see like you are being compromised. So we just let them be. And Alico as an institution, we look for donors. We solicit funding from donors, and not necessarily the government.
Wow. Let me work on the chief. Tomalin George, King George I. George, I was compelled to invite Mr. Hector Molova. A few months ago, you were on here. You were pleading that we have to find a way to reach the Liberian people, the actual people, to explain and create an avenue to allay their fears and their plight. So here is Mr. Moroba, who is in charge of the whole country community radio, and he's admitting here that even though the government do a lot of money in the budget for community radio, but that money doesn't reach them, and they don't call them to the executive mansion. But when it's time for election, then they are inundated. So, Tomalin, this is your man. You were keen on getting the message out to our people in the rural area outside of Monrovia. Hector is here. He is the general of that particular group of radio stations that do not get called to the executive mansion. They're like a dump truck. They build the executive mansion, but they're not allowed to pass in front of it. Your take, sir.
Mr. Gayman, let me say thank you. Let me say
That's it.
thank you. And also, welcome to Mr. Morba, Mr. Nagbe. Good to see you again.
What's up, Chief?
Our audience, those who are watching on YouTube, on Facebook, and listening to this show in your car, in the comfort of your home. There are lots of people who watch this show. They're not reflected in numbers, but if you combine those who listen to the program in their cars, in their home, on the radio, on YouTube, I just got some high profile person there asking for the Bluetooth link. I just sent it to the person. The question they wanted the names to be saying on the platform, but no problem. But let me say something. Zamoba, it's good to see you, and we're happy that you can be part of the closing argument platform tonight. The press is one of the institution one of the organizations that people, most politicians and national leaders fear most, even in the country we are, America. See Trump, in the press fighting every day. They're fighting, and that's why he's the only president I've seen in modern times that engages the press every day. Almost every day, Trump is having some stuff with the press. When he walking on Air Force to Air Force One, he traveling, he will stop. Even when he on his flight, he have a place on Air Force One that he was tough with the price and so forth. Back in the days when the Liberian government, the presidency, when they're traveling, they had a press corps that travels with the president. You saw all these guys, T. Makuno, all these people from the various, they had the executive mansion press corps. And I was asking somebody today, I said, who did talk to Japan? They said, nobody. I mean, maybe the BS person, an auto carrier, but that's not how it works. And the press should be that counterpart of the government, in a sense that it helps to promote the government messages and policies, you know. And but let me say a bit more about one of the ways you guys we can do it. We work together. We have these platforms, but if the Seleke community radios will agree to say, okay, we'll relay these programs we have on the platform, even if they not fit the time, because we'll come on 9 o'clock at night. But they can say, okay, in the morning we'll replay the program, replay the program. On a serious note, a lawmaker or a government official, he'll listen to the program and he will say, oh my God. And yet he will get concerned. But the reason why they play us because they divide the press. They go to certain station, they say they open their own station there. If I'm a lawmaker, I say radio bombing for me. So everything it suits me and my party. But if all the local station was asking the show, honestly, your phone lines will be buzzing, your office will be packed. They'll be coming to you, say, look, we want to work with you guys. And but we come on right now. We on here, we on True FM, and to maintain the program, to keep the thing running, it requires funding, you know. Right now, the month about to end, we're taking our guys, then we got 3 or 4 person on the ground that we got to pay, you know. And that just now, before the show started, one of our guys had a drug bust in Kenya, and the time is about, he went there around about 9 o'clock, not around about 8 o'clock in Liberia time. He ran for that drug bust with a DA, arrested some females. I think we'll show the video later on. He went there right away. And how to get there? You got to jump on some ways, get on motorbike to get to that point and carry live. So, and the lives are rigs too. But at the same time too, I think they were able to go there. But if we're working together, imagine if what was happening were being broadcast live on stations across the country, people will get scared. People will be very nervous because you realize that anything you do now, the press got you. But if you want to take advantage of the press because we're not working together, we're not working together. So I would really appeal to you today to call. If you call that as even a gathering of local press, local stations, community stations across the country, so look, how best can we work with the online platform? How we get them so that our messages can flow over the country. Not with election time, honestly. Like you said, you rightly said. I bet you by 2028, those are getting closer to you guys. And it's not fair. You know, it's not fair because they take advantage of the press, the media. That's why they disrespect the media and so forth. And that shouldn't be the case. We should work together so that our message can flow all over the country, not only election time. Like there's no reason why no member of the Liberian press, especially independent media, is not in Japan with the president. There's no reason why. And mind you got an executive mansion press corps. And you tell me you carry none of these people over there, none of them travel to Japan. I mean, is that it's so and I'm better to go there or what? President is on the way to the United Nations General Assembly next month. And I can tell you, they will take selected journalists again. It's the one that will be promotional for them, and they will take them and put them on that plane and bring them to America and for the UN Assembly. It shouldn't be the case. So you know where the president did go to China? To 30 persons. I didn't tell the journalists were in China recently. Government took care of them. Okay, but it should not be. I mean, like tonight, like today, one of the boys, the boy who put for spoon for the executive mansion, the boy is on the way to Sweden today for school. That boy hustled his own way to get out of the country. He hustled away. He had to travel with the president anywhere. So the boy realized the opportunity came away. He hustled his way, got a scholarship, and he's on the way to Sweden today. It shouldn't be that way. So I hope, Mr. Moba, during your second term, we can work together and do something so that we have this connection, so that when the program is simulcast on local stations, it helps the station too, because people listen to that station and they can also make an appeal for assistance from the people. Okay, just to end, we have in America, we have our county organization meet every year. For instance, if I'm a member of the Basel, the next week, I will be at the Basel Convention, the UNIBA, the United Basel Associations for Basel Cities in America. And who is the guest speaker? The President Pro-Tem of the Liberian Senate. She'll be the guest speaker there. She'll be our guest speaker at a convention in Pennsylvania. Okay? And honestly, you think she should have brought one or two persons from Radio West and say, let's travel to the States and go? But people, we gotta get serious and work together. People respect us.
Great. Hector, I want to let the folks know that through my instrumentality, he came and he had a fellowship with a National Public NPR.
Very good.
I brought him here. He had a fellowship with NPR.
That's great.
He also had some training with the CDC, not the Congress. We're talking about the CDC here, where they did disaster training. They did major disaster training like earthquake and all of that. So he did
disaster management.
Yeah. So Hector Moluba has been privileged.
Yeah, disaster management public.
That's correct. So he has done that. The former superintendent of Grand Bassa County is watching Julia Duncan Cassell. There she goes. She says she's following. When you mentioned the formation of the of Radio Western, you said there were a group of guys. Were women involved, or just? I think we're having a problem with our technical team there. Go ahead.
Women were involved. We had two women involved at the time. Women were involved.
Okay, but give them credit. Acknowledge them. Who are these women?
Yeah. Okay, so we had at the time, we had Hannah Amakotu, we had Esther Smith, and we had one more other lady. I can't remember. We had 3 women. So the board was comprised of 9 persons. So we had 6 men and 3 women.
Excellent. Now let's talk about the different vernacular, right? Let's say people in Nimba that don't speak English. How do you guys reach out to them? Or people in Lofa, people in Bond County? How do you guys relay? How do you work to get the information to these folks?
And so this is the uniqueness of the community radio station sector. You want to say almost every district now in Liberia has a community radio. So take for instance, Lofa has 8 community radio stations.
Lofa
so if
alone.
you are in Foya, the community radio station that is in Foya radio, Lofa alone has 8. Yes, Lofa has 8. Grand Bassa now has 10. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
so the station in Foya will deal with the vernaculars and in that community. Bani, take for example, Kisi, and Mende and those kind of things. So you get to Nima. Nima has up to 14. I think it should be 14, 16. On our database, we have 14 for Nima, but it should be more than that because there are other stations, there are private stations that are there too. So every community now in Liberia, every district, as a matter of fact, has a community radio. So information, you have in Bassa, you have 4 in Buchanan, you have in district 3, like you have 2. In fact, you have 3. In district 2, you have 2. In district 4, you have 1. So the station spread across every district in Liberia. So and that's what make communication very easy now. So no matter what we do for major program, that we network like this. When you're talking about, we network, call our members together. So we have this major press conference of this major engagement coming. So we want all of the stations to network and link. So then we link, and that message goes across the entire country. So through the community radio station, communication network is providing access to information to our people. Our people have maximum access to information.
Honorable George, we are talking about, he says, every district, I think there are 73 districts in the country, right? Is that 73, Hector?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every district has radio station. Basso has 10, Lofa has 8, Nimak has 16. That's a lot of radio stations.
But here's the trick though.
Yeah, but
most of these stations are owned by lawmakers, by politicians. Most of them.
Hector, is that true?
I said most of them though. Most of them are owned by they are lawmakers. Most of them, because
the lawmakers.
Go ahead.
Okay, it is true lawmakers own some of these stations, but majority of the stations are owned by the community radio stations. Majority. And again, the next time I'm opportune to appear, I will come with the statistics. I mean, number of stations that are associated with lawmakers, number of stations that are community owned, number of stations that are private, commercial. We have all of those statistics. So next time I will come with. We know that the lawmaker, like I said before, sometimes individual will just put a radio station and say it is a community radio station. But most of the stations are for the community. Yes, the lawmakers have some, but most of the stations are community owned. The only thing is that the lawmaker stations have advantage over the actual community station, because they're being supported by their respective lawmakers. So it poses some disadvantage to the actual community radio station. But the community radio stations are more than those ones that are associated with lawmakers.
So Hector, talk to us. What usually happens to the radio station owned by the politician when they are no longer in power?
And there where the deception is, sometimes the station breaks down, or the way they will come now and turn it over to the community. This station are building, but now I'm not a lawmaker again, so I now turn it over to the community, and also it becomes a community radio station. That's what they normally do.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you are just joining us. We are getting a lot of education today. On the difference is that there are 5 categories of the media system in Liberia. Can you go over the 5 again for us, the different categories?
Yeah. Okay, so we got the public, which is like you want to say, state-run, the EFBC. You got the commercial. You got the private. You got faith-based. Then you have the one that owned by concession.
Okay.
The public, so the commercial. The private,
so
faith-based, and the one that owned by the concession.
So radio stations owned by politicians, would that be called private or community-based or commercial?
They're private. They're private.
Okay. Private, excellent. So Hector Mola, can you tell us what radio station you are relaying with now as we speak today? And who are listening to you? You are relaying on Radio Besson, right?
Yeah, only Radio Besson for now. Only Radio Besson for now.
Okay, and what's the range of Radio Besson? I'm saying this because
Radio Besson,
he was not here when you came on.
Yeah, Radio Besson, we cover 88 miles radius. So if you want to put it, like I said, we cover the entire Grand Bassa, we cover the entire River Cess, we cover significant portions of Nagbe, Nema, and Bon counties.
Wow. So Tomalin George, That's a big range.
Yeah.
So Mr. Moba. So as I said, how can we harness this relationship with other community radio station? Because, like I said, if we want to really be a significant force in the country, in our functioning democracy, whatever the case, because that to ensure that the messages, what's happening in the news is resonates with the people throughout the country. We have to work together. That we have on this show. Maybe you only get maybe two the local station will carry us live, local community station will carry us live. But how can we make an improvement? Because honestly, if I'm a lawmaker or a minister of government or somebody in government, and I'm in one of the counties, and I'm hearing the closing argument is on, and it's saying something that affects my job, definitely I would take it serious. But most of the time they say, well, that program they're talking only hearing only people who got data hearing it, only people watching it, nobody watching them many, and so forth. So they really sometimes they just dismiss it. But if they find that, for instance, if they found out that this person is being talked about today, they'll be in the news, they are betrayed the public or something happened, they will definitely first they'll start calling you. You got money live and so forth. You need to talk. And they will respect you guys, and then they will know that when they fight the Liberian, we're all on for this country, we'll all be in it together. But if we continue in this trend, it will just be divided. They will divide us, play us like that. I can tell you, though there are some people today, maybe in the government, visiting Basel today, listening to this show now, and it's like, wow. But after that, what happened next? So, how can we harness the relationship? How can we make an improvement? What can we be done? What needs to be done?
What as president of Alico, I do not control the independence of these radio stations. What I can do is, and I don't want to make any commitment on their behalf. I know the possibility exists, or the possibility will exist for these kind of collaborations, but I don't want to speak to much of a collaboration. With the one I manage, I can speak to that because I'm the manager for that. So again, it's a community radio. It's not a station I own, but given the importance of your platform, the kind of messaging you have on your platform, I can have some authority with radio person to say, look, we can immediately start relaying this program. Other community radio stations, we can have some conversations with them behind the scenes. But like I said, it's possible. I don't want to, make any commitment on their behalf because they have their own editorial policy, editorial guidelines. So we need to. But these conversations, can extend, and it will be possible for collaboration. There are positive sounds of collaboration. I can assure you. But I don't want to make any commitment on their behalf until I can speak with them individually.
Yes, sorry. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your response. Maybe the Gayman, we can maybe establish some WhatsApp chat room with him, with the community registration folks, and we can start discussion from there, and perhaps we can see what happens, because we see what happened in the country. The country now, everybody's playing each other. I heard something about the protest, the drug protest, the problem among them already. I heard something going on. I don't know what's going on, but these are things that people need to know. Sometimes like they are saying, like I said, I will miss my papi and Minister of Grace Bay. He told me, say, every day show me that link. Let me watch your show. He said when I'm traveling, so now I watch that show before I go to bed. Sometimes if I miss the show live, I watch it after I leave work, and all officials want to watch it too, so it's good, so that these guys in the community stations, they can also be known, come out and say, well, they have access to the platform, they come and be guest panelists on the platform and talk to Liberian people too, we all can have your guests help us and come back grow that guest. That was the question to the guest. But for instance, right?
Sure.
We are planning of interview, whether it will be live or recorded, with the pro tem when she gets here. So now, if we're doing that, we're telling you, look, please relay the thing live for us to connect with him. And her point about, so yeah, we hearing what she will be saying, you know, at the Unibar convention. So we have things we are trying to do. So that's what happened, you know. Like we did a VP that day, but it was just like it was so fast, happening immediately, but it was quick. So we get to the vanish, so hey, well, we should have gone live now. We don't know, but next time we'll know. We'll try to go live. But so let's do something. Let's make this his appearance tonight. Let's make it meaningful. That on this day we started having the discussion, so that we can take it from there. So, Mr. Mobile, I look forward to us following this the discussion in the next few days.
And the good thing is that at least we are getting a big chunk, which is the Grand Bassa River says part of Magibi, Bong, and Nima. We're getting that commitment today. Not solid yet, but the CEO of Radio Basin is saying that he has authority over. He would think about coordinating with that. If we can begin with that, that's a big part of the Southeast. I can tell you part of Central Liberia and all of that. So that's great. But now let me bring you to politics. I know you don't want to do this, but let's talk about issues. Today, the Press Union of Liberia deployed legal representation in River Set, where you cover. 2 journalists are facing criminal charges for accusing the magisterial court for corruption and bribery. It says here the charges of criminal contempt of court and criminal coercion stem from a publication by the journalists that alleged corruption within the Yakba Town magisterial court. Specific claim of bribery and controversial release of a police officer that was allegedly arrested with narcotics, importing drugs into the country. A police officer. And he guys investigated journalists. So in addressing the situation, the PUL President Julia Konuba emphasized the union's strong commitment to ensuring the journalists' freedom from the criminal charges, expressing gratitude, and they are sending attorney at law and journalist Bowie to take on the case. Your take on this, and are you reporting on this major case that journalists that have evidence against corruption, police officer transporting narcotics, arrested and released? So these boys are on it now. They are now being arrested for contempt of court. How your radio station taking this?
Yes, in fact, we issued a statement. The moment it came out, we condemn their arrest and incarceration. We condemn it in the strongest term. And PUL is the biggest media body, and they have picked it up too. And the sad thing is, and we hope that something can come out. You know, Liberia is a country where we do not afraid of our own. We are not afraid of our own legal system. We are not afraid of our own rules, our regulations. We always want to be afraid of foreign authority. I'm saying this to say people get afraid when they are indicted by maybe the U.S. State Department or certain agency of the United States or other foreign bodies. It happened in Kakata when the superintendent then just went and she suspended a station manager of a community radio station. This is not a government station. It's not a private station. It's owned by the community. For a community radio station manager to be suspended, that suspension should be effected by the board of advisors. And these people are the one that represent the community. And I advise the superintendent that what you doing is wrong. I mean, she overlooked it. We wrote our report. We said, and you should forward that to the U.S. State Department. Today, her name is in that State Department report that she was coercing the media. Just what we told her yesterday. But on the ground, we don't respect our own authority. So I'm saying this to say that I hope that you said and other bodies could come back that will be making some of these reports, because as it stands, the authority on the ground will do nothing. Those guys will be released. Maybe after our pressure, they will be released, and the magistrate or the judge, whosoever, will go impunity. Will be walking in that place with flying colors. So it's too many of these things are around. you report on it, and it's like after 7 days the noise quiets down, and what comes out of it? But like you saw, most of our officials, they were being. I mean, what happened over there was, it was right or it was wrong. Everybody was shaking when they say, "Oh yeah, they come to indict the other official." Everybody shaking. So why is it that when they take an official to court, people can be shaking? So we hope that our legal system can be strengthened in a way that, you know, it becomes a hammer that will nail everybody's head, and not just for the ordinary people. That you just arrest a journalist, put him in jail because he's doing his job, you know, professionally. I mean, I'm not against journalists going to prison if I all. I mean, he did what is wrong. What is wrong if he did it? But now what the man is right is performing his professional duty, and you know that this man, but because Riverside is way in the corner, and you know it will take time for the news to come, or it will take time for other authority to go there. But this is the Liberia we have now, and that's why, like Mr. George is saying, these kind of platforms are good so that these messages spread across the country, and people get to know that you're doing something in River says, it can get to America, it can get to the UK, and some strong body can pick it up. It will not just be the regular Liberia thing, because you know the regular Liberia thing is just sometimes it weakens the system, it weakens people resolve to do how you want to do things, because you feel that you play your part and the other people don't care to play their part. So it just weakens resolve and everything. But we condemn it.
Thank you, Mr. Nagbe.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moba. You know, you know, it looks like this is all over the country, even in the Leeward side. But I wanted you to talk to us a little bit about the support that you get from the president of Liberia. Because quite frankly, whenever I think of the press union, and I'm sure many people do, I think in terms of, you know, the newspapers, print media. How much support do you enjoy from the press union of Liberia? I think we
What
lost.
the president of Liberia, I mean, is strong and advocate. Yeah, the president of Liberia. What we enjoy is advocacy. Like you just listen to Mr. Gayman read the release from the president of Liberia. These are the kind of thing. I mean, the president of Liberia is involved with, like we too, like our group Aliko. You know, the president of Liberia itself doesn't have the kind of support. I mean, honestly, the PE itself is struggling for support, and all of us are around looking for support, looking for donor to support the president, for the president to support our group. But again, when it comes to advocacy, I mean, speaking on behalf of the speaking on behalf of journalists, advocating for the rights of journalists and radio stations, the PS is always effective. So yes, we can't say much about as it relates to support for the PA, because the PA itself, I mean, needs support. You know, we had this issue almost 2 years. The PA was totally disintegrated. So coming back, it will take time to get stronger. But with our support and support coming from other places, the PA will get stronger, and then we'll start to enjoy the kind of support that we're supposed to be getting from the PUL.
Has there been any president of the PUL coming out of the community radio, you know, community, local radio community?
No, not yet, but we're working towards that. We are working towards that. Yes.
Could you be the next
we're working
president?
towards that.
Could you be the next president of PUL?
Right.
No, sir. I mean, I'm off for different thing after my tenure. I'm off for different thing now.
Okay,
I've worked in this profession for, yeah, I've worked for, I mean, 20.
Go ahead.
No, I said I have worked as a journalist for the past 22 years. I mean, moving forward, I want to venture into other areas now. I mean, I think I played my part in the media. I'm looking out for other things now.
Okay.
You want to run for office? Are you venturing to run for office?
Well, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, I could go in the private sector. I could go in the public sector. I could do my business.
That's a yes. That's a yes. Tomalin Joy is an old-time politician. When they don't say no categorically, you know it's a yes.
That's a yes.
Okay.
Even when it says no, they actually mean yes.
Yeah, right. Mr. Molba, let's talk about the bread and butter issue. Let's talk about the economy in the country. What are your people saying? What are the conversations they are keeping? How is the economy affecting people outside? Because we don't want, in America, we say the Beltway, right? That's the DMV area where people say, in Liberia, now in your neck of the wood, how are they dealing with the security issue? They're dealing with drug issue. They're dealing with the bread and butter issue. What is it that your people are saying from the rural area?
Wood. Oh, okay, man. But Mr. Gayman, it's tough, you know. Every time you put the radio station on, it's just about, you know, I mean, poverty. It's just about impoverishment. People are suffering, and the drug is killing. Drug nowadays killing Liberians youth like ants. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, 34 persons dying daily from drugs, and you know it's discouraging. As for the bread and butter issue, again, it's sad, and you know it's kind of you know you don't know even how to explain it, because the few persons that are working are the one that even feeling the pinch the most, because if you one person or community and you're working, you get all the folks coming at you. And I always told people, Liberians are proud people. They don't want to reduce themselves to beg, but sometimes the only option a person has is to beg. Sometimes that's the only option. And when you say this, it appears like you're encouraging people to beg, but that's not the situation. Everybody does not have the same ability, you know, the same innovation, the same creativity. I mean, people have their own limitations, and that's why there should be opportunities so that people make.
No, I was going to ask. I think there's a delay. Is that how Bezon Radio keep the lights on? Is that how you maintain? I mean, I was going to wonder how do you support your program, the station?
Oh yes, you know we've been into this for long. It's difficult, but we know the way around, and even what we give our staff, I mean, as stipend, of this stipend, you know, it's just that we are regular, we do it regularly, but it's nothing to give to professional people, you know. But again, the journalism profession is a profession of commitment, dedication, so people are committed, dedicated. Even we ourselves, sometimes it's tough. You know, at least to say the man down there who's not working, and you know, and there's some family just get one person working. Some family absolutely nobody is working. So the bread and butter issue is difficult to talk, Mr. Gayman, because I mean it's just crazy. Not just one area. You talk about the bread and butter issue, you talk about the security issue, you talk about the drug issue. I mean, everything about our country, we just need to work harder. We just need a leader or group of leaders that will have the willpower to fight. I mean, some of these things is bad. The people are just becoming hopeless by the day.
How you have been one of the most fortunate radio stations in the country, to be very frank with you. Your partnership with the corporations and all of that, even you build your own facility next to another great facility, so you have power, you got all of it. Tell her, how did that come about? And you are in a very enviable spot.
Yeah. Again, Mr. Gayman, it's just commitment, and like I said, building yourselves, acquiring knowledge, and with with your help, you know, when I came to the States, based on your sponsorship, on your invitation, your sponsorship, your support, I mean, there were a lot of trainings, you know. Some of the training I went on, you know, financial management, resource mobilization. So when I came back, I put those into practice. I put those things into practice, and they have helped me a whole lot. with Radio Bezon and with the Aliko that I'm hailing today. Once you acquire knowledge and you don't utilize this knowledge, it's not a knowledge. So I want to be grateful to you, and the different learning opportunities that I want to win are just been helping us. That's why, like you said, we are in this position that people will envy about. Again, it's not as easy as one would think. You have to work harder.
Well, I hope that the opportunity that's been extended to you today by Mr. Tomalin, Josh. I know you have to go and confer with your colleagues back there, but that's something I need you guys to really try to push. Susan here, I'm glad she's here. She has a pretty big platform as well. I'm sure people like herself, will be interested in rebroadcasting the activities, on your local network. So I think you guys should try to look to these kinds of things. There are a lot of Liberians here now who are broadcasting on a range of different issues, some not even political at all. They have social grouping here. They have people who just do, health and education, people who just do social life, their whole life. So I think you guys should look to those and see if they can also help you generate some revenue. Welcome to the show. Susan, you've been missing. The elections have come and passed and everything.
Yeah.
CDC has left their building and everything.
Let me welcome the Queen of Nimba County, the Queen of Nimba, Susan Bangay. Susan, how you doing that? Are you Mana or Gil? Because I want to speak your dialect.
Mr. Gilman, you don't know how to speak.
Bavois. Aha, you see, let's see, I'm multi-talented. Ms. Morwa, our sister from Nimba County is here, and you just told me that Nimba County has one of the largest community radio stations, 16 actually. That is the one that's on your radar. You got covered of that. Yeah. Susan is from Nimba. She has a very big platform, and I think collaborating with the other smaller 16 radio station will do because her message goes wild, but it's not enough. We want to reach everybody in Nimba, everybody. So it would be great for her. Susan, welcome. We have Mr. Hector Morova here. He's the president of the Liberia Community Radio Association. They run all the non-commercial, religious, and the big one. They run the community radio station, managed, chaired by the people, community stakeholders. That's where they are, and they're in all 15 counties. So it's huge. Welcome to the show, Susan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you I just left another platform. I said I have to go on the closing argument because this is where I don't know what I would say to Timley Josh and Dr. Peabody. Yeah, this is where, I received my first big invite. Okay. I know every time people say Susie has a big platform, but being here, Mr. Gilman, is a privilege. Sitting among men, intelligent men, it's a privilege. Imagine Mr. Gilman and Mr. Nagbe and Sylvester. That alone is a privilege. So I just want you guys to know, in as much as I have my big platform, I'm humble when I'm sitting among you guys here. All right? I'm humble and I feel.
Thank you very much. And we are privileged to have you on. I listen to you. I follow your show. It is. You know what? I love you. Your skin is so thick. They can say everything about you, and one thing you give it right back to them. That's what I'm saying. That's it. But some people, you suck it right back to them. You don't let them get under your skin. So, Mr. Morvan, you got a lady here that is a female general or fighter. She won't back down from anybody. And whatever you do, don't mess with her CDC. She is a seditious to the core, but objectively, she goes after her own people. Like you do. You represent all the radio stations in the country, but you would tell the folks, you would tell what the people are feeling. Like you said, they are feeling the economy, they are feeling the security, the drug. Like you just announced, 3-4 people die now daily from drug overdose. Susan, that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
Susan, I mean, this is the man who is on the ground, community radio, so he is in the trenches. And he's saying the 4 is just what we can see. But the drug issue is getting bad. Susan, what is your take on this?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining the show, Mr. Maluba. Um, it is sad to see our children, our brothers, our sisters, um, in the condition that we're seeing them in this at this moment. I try not to, add politics into the issue of drugs, which of course we have had others doing it. It's bad because when it comes to drugs, I think it's a national issues that we have to all focus on. And at this moment, because they said the Kush was not doing what it's doing right now. As you go on social media, you see the children on the ground. They're really suffocating for their lives. It's just a sad moment. And I reposted a video with beautiful young girls. The other girl, she spoke, she said that she graduated from high school. Can you imagine? And she could not believe that she found herself in the place that she found herself in. So these things are peer pressure. And the only thing we really need now is the government to really intervene. One cannot do it on their own. And the government intervention with the help of the citizens, that will help the drugs issue, Mr. Gilman, because the government needs to build a rehab. As for me, I followed the American politics, and just recent time I heard Donald Trump saying that they're going to clean around the White House. I don't know if I'm mistaken. That the White House, the homeless people, they were there, the drugs and stuff like that. It makes the look of the city really bad. So that's how Monrovia is at the moment. Monrovia is our capital city. And seeing the young children, the drugs rate in that country, it's terrible. So Mr. Maluba, you having a radio station, I think the best thing that you guys are doing right now and working with the radio, I mean, is to actually just continue putting it out here in the face of putting it out in the public. So because I believe that once it is seen, there is a solution to it. So um I want to say thank you guys for the great work that you guys are doing, but I don't know what to say more because I don't know your position. I don't know where you stand political wise. So what are some of the things that you guys are implementing to solve this issue? Because I know that a lot of radio stations have covered it. We see a lot of young folks, who are saying that they want to leave the streets. But leaving the street, speaking from the medical perspective, a lot of people go and build a rehab in Liberia, not knowing that once you leave the rehab, with the drugs issue, they have to take you to a rehab where you have to be injected with certain medication so that drugs can leave your system. You just don't go and take somebody out in a drugs place and say, okay, since this person is willing to change, I will take them to my house. They will crave for it and they will go back on the street. So the fact that you guys are covering these things, I want to know what are some of the things that you guys are implementing to solve this issue.
Mr. Morva.
Well, like you said, I mean, yes, sir. Our role is to just create the awareness, provide the education, and just, I mean, let the public know about the dangers that are associated with drugs. And we just always remind them, take those footage of some of their friends that have died as a result of these drugs. I mean, but it's sad to see human beings just dying like like cockroaches. I mean, and it's sad. So like I said, we as journalists can do more. What we can do is to provide the information, to provide the education, create the awareness about the dangers that are associated with drugs. That's what we can do, and also remind the authorities, those who have the power, to let them know that their citizens are dying, from drugs. We shouldn't be. And we got to be serious. We got to be serious. Now, all we can always say, to come and march in Monrovia, say no against drugs is not sufficient. I think places like RI and the different border points, we should tighten those places. I mean, there are a lot of ways. People who are assigned at those border points, the different border points, the different border areas, we need to really tighten those places and ensure that drugs don't come, because the more drugs continue to enter the country, the more people are going to die. So it's not, but you can't leave the border, you can't leave RIA, leave the CJ, you leave all the borders and come capital here. You say you're going to present petition to whom? It's a sad time, sad day. But all we can do is to keep creating the awareness. That's all we can do. Providing the education, providing the information. Nothing more we can do as communicators.
So what education are you guys providing to them? Because going
to the public. To the right now, as it stands.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, Hector, let me.
I was saying, as it stands right now. Yes, sir.
Okay, here they said the press union declared abuse of judicial power against journalists to intimidate journalists from reporting what is happening there. And he cited this instance where a police officer in Riverside County was caught with transporting drugs. And when you journalists flagged it, the two journalists were arrested. So the press union is saying the government is using the judicial power to intimidate journalists from telling the real story. Hector.
Yes, I mean, but again, you how far can you go? How far can the government go with this? You can't, because how many journalists in this country. So you put all of the journalists in prison because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. They'll report the hard truth. So, and that happened because, like I said, it's in Riverside. Riverside is a far off place, a little distant from Monrovia. But you can't easily do that in Buchanan. You can't easily do that in Monrovia. So the hard stories will be told. The hard truth will be told. It wouldn't be left on the carpet.
As far as you can tell, Mr. Mova, this drug use problem, addiction, is as prevalent in the leeward side, in the interior, as it is, say, in Monrovia or in Buchanan, as far as you can tell?
Oh yeah. Yes, everywhere. In fact, it's more even in the interior than you think about Monrovia. Yes.
And as far as you know, there are no government sensitization programs running on any of your stations, as far as you know.
With the exception of the recent, said no to drugs campaign, was not even a government initiative.
Right.
Not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Malba, I know you're in a community, so these questions are geared around the community. Today, the Supreme Court, the Civil Law Court at the Temple of Justice have ruled that the two factions fighting in the United Methodist Church, the pro-gay and the anti-gay, the pro-gay people won today. What are they saying in the interior about the lifestyle, about something of this magnitude?
Well, two sides to this issue. You got the Global United Methodists and you got the United Methodists, and the Global United Methodist is the one accusing is a new one out of the United Methodists, is the one that amplify this issue about gay marriage in the United Methodist Church. And the United Methodist Church is saying they are not involved with that. But what I can say, it has divided the United Methodist Church. That how far I can go. It has hugely divided the United Methodist Church. And some of the folks, because we're in a community, we interact with a lot of people. Some of the folks are just confused. Some are trying to find other churches to start to attend. Others are saying, me, I will just renew my United Methodist. But today there was a press conference that was called by the United Methodists. Sorry, I didn't follow. I will go back to the link because I was very busy. I wanted to have listened to that press conference to have known the position of the United Methodist Church today, because the intro was that the Supreme Court had ruled in favor of the United Methodist Church as it relates to all of the properties that the Global United Methodist Church should not be claiming any of the United Methodist property because they have left. That was the intro. Yes. Again, I had another meeting to attend, so I could not go. I could not follow that press conference. I mean, to the end.
Yes, I have it here.
I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a huge division in the church, and
but when the Supreme Court says, if you are a member of an organization and the organization does something you don't like, you can leave, but you cannot force the organization that you're leaving to share the property with you, share everything with you, because you pay tithes when you are a member of the church. They are saying that is an individual thing. The property, the facilities are owned by the organization itself. So members cannot come and say, because I pay tithes, I pay my offering, I have a claim to these properties. So that's what the Supreme Court, the court said today, that the Global United Methodist, those who are anti-gay, can leave willingly, no problem. They can leave and form their own, but they cannot claim to the property of the church. So the court was very clear. If you are a member of a radio station and you don't like Hector and you want to leave the radio station, you can leave. But you can't leave and say, I work here for 5 years, so I need one room in your office. You can't do that. So the court was very clear. And it's a very great finding.
So on our method issue, Mr. Kidman, I think this entire fight is more about creed instead of the actual thing the Global Methodist Church is pushing. So for me, I'm a United Methodist. I've been in the United Methodist Church since birth, and I also serve as vice president for the youth fellowship for Simafi United Methodist. And for my church, we decided not to put talk in this entire fight, and because we believe once you purchase a property in the United Methodist name, when you leave, you don't care how much money you can donate to the church. Once you leave, that particular property automatically becomes the UMC property. So if you say you want to leave to go to another denomination, it means that denomination should be able to afford a church or edifice for you. Instead of saying, okay, because I contributed to the church building and we built it to this level, we upgraded it. We agree that the Iron Conference is not supporting local churches, granted. But most of these churches were purchased or donated by family to the UMC. So you can say you're leaving because you're one of the high-ranking officials of the UMC, and you want to leave. You want to leave along with the church. It happening to us in United Methodist Church. It also happening with ST Namwe. Cantor United Methodist Church also experiencing the same thing, and that's wrong, especially for those who claiming property of the UMC. UMC own all of these property once it carried United Methodist symbol and with the D. That why most of our brothers now understand they've been running around back and forth. It's your right for us. We say we're not contribute to United Methodist activity, but we will not also worship in our edifice. Our church, the entire church turned over that particular edifice to the district superintendent, and we not worshiping in our edifice anymore. We building our own church now to go either global or be a Pentecostal member. But most of the people are fighting for UMC property. I think it's not fair. and the Supreme Court said call a cake, and that's one of the best decisions that the Supreme Court made.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are not familiar with the United Methodist history, our first founding father, J.J. Roberts, the founding father of, basically, I would say, father United Methodism, all the properties, all his wealth, he willed it to the United Methodist Church. So did President Tubman. When he was leaving, he put the church in his will. So these people will these properties to the church. Nobody can claim it. You can't sell it. You can't do anything. United Methodist is a powerhouse. I don't know what J.J. Robert would say, what William V. Tubman would say about gay marriage or the global, the United Methodist, because the national discipline that governs United Methodism has agreed that same-sex marriage is legal and is part of the manifesto. So there's very little you can do, because when the people at the top speaks, it's a discipline you have to accept. So J.J. Robert, I don't know what he was saying.
Mr. Gayman, I just want to make a quick injection to what you said, please, because when you said the United Methodist Church passed a gay right, for Africa, there was a clause that was injected in that book of discipline called regionalization.
That's correct.
And for the regionalization, it means when your country does not support gay marriage or sincere marriage, you cannot participate in your country. So
I have the ruling here.
Yeah. So clearly that sincere marriage not for Africa. That sincere marriage for America, because America was the one who passed gay right.
Yeah, and to further buttress Samson, I will not sit there and you're trying to make out this.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
I know very well.
You see what the man talking me?
At the global conference, Reverend Kula then when they spoke against the island. And the problem is that people got to understand. Like he said, it was clearly stated. Look, if your country, if you don't practice it, we're not forcing you to go and marry people in your church, or men and men, woman to woman. No, okay. But for the fact that the non-major global is supporting it, but not Liberia. I don't know why they have a problem. They still want to have a problem. If they say you think Bishop Choir is brave to go and say you want to marry two men together in Liberia, you will not do it.
Exactly.
They're doing that stuff, So for me, I'm happy the Supreme Court have ruled. If you want to break out from the church, you want to get a church property for what? Ain't for you. If you're not coming to this church, you get property. Go from there.
I agree. Susan.
So don't say you do a gay marriage.
Susan.
Yes, Mr. Gayman.
The gay people want today in the church.
No, but Mr. Gayman, when you keep calling the UMC gay,
not a UMC. But Susan, the fear in Liberia, right? Because I spoke to a lot of my cousins, they're all United Methodist from the old field in Buchanan. Their fear is, even though the Liberia Annual Conference does not recognize gay marriage, but two people from Liberia will come to America, get married, go back and go to their church and say, we didn't get married here, but we are legally married, went to America and married, and then bring them married back home.
You cannot crap over that.
It's like, man, even a gay pastor or bishop for America cannot preach in our church or worship in our church. That's the thing.
So how you test him to not whether he's gay? How you know?
So it will be proven. They don't have themselves.
Okay, guys. Switching to another great subject here.
But the thing with the whole gay issue, the people in Liberia are still looking for food to eat. And then they want to be pushing all kinds of foolish agenda. There's too many things to focus on in Liberia. Do you know a gay lifestyle, a gay man, what it requires? You need to be on medication, that expensive lifestyle over there. You're living like looking for food to eat.
Hector,
lifestyle. You have to be eating certain food. You gotta be on certain medication. The people can just toss some BBT. They're not supposed to take. I think what happening in the church, there's some type of propaganda running over there. That's what I think. And I mean, Liberia, we have a lot to focus on than to just focus on. The country has committed so much sin. We've gone through 14 years of civil war, babies that were murdered, the things are in that country, the nation still needs to be prayed for. And then here we are talking about gay and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know where the poor won't take the country, but gay lifestyle comes with a lot of things. It's an expensive lifestyle. So my people, you're focused on something more important. I don't like to talk into this topic because this I don't like it. Yeah, man.
Mr. Moba, I want to clarify that it is true that they put money in the budget for the Liberian radio station or the journalists or press union. It is true.
No, not to my knowledge. I got no idea. Not to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you.
But did earlier you said they are trying to appropriate money for community radio, but the money doesn't get down to you guys?
What I was saying, sometimes I was saying when they have these programs, like maybe they're having a program for journalists to gather, or maybe say for press conference, a major government event to cover. So what they would do, they will include all these radio stations. They will include all these radio stations, community radio station, Monrovia base. But then when they get the money, then they exclude this community radio station, only do Monrovia base stations. Then the money for the community radio station remain with them.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go to our last topic here, Honorable George. It says here, the economy deeply hit by, no, this one is by the gentleman from Honorable Gongloe says here that what's happening in this administration is legalized theft. That's how,
I just dropped something in the chat room when you get a chance. Maybe we can spend 5 minutes or so on it too before we close out.
Okay. He said, this one is funny before I go to the legalized theft. I don't know if you can see these guys. You see these two guys right here, Honorable George and Nagbe? You see these two guys?
Yeah. Who are they?
They are impersonating Rodney C.
Oh.
do they look anything like Rodney C?
For true?
Yeah. This is carried by Front Page Africa, and it says here, police probe 2 men for impersonating Front Page Africa Managing Editor General Rodney C. The Liberian National Police have launched an investigation into 2 men accused of impersonating Front Page Africa Managing Editor Rodney C. in a scheme to extract money from government officials, permanent citizens, and businesses around the country. How does this face look like Rodney C?
Sorry.
So that front page we put him away?
Yes.
Oh, really? Today, 20? Wow.
Yes. So I mean, this is unbelievable. These guys are going around the country, and not only are they doing the regular people, but they're extorting money. They're calling government officials, telling them, I got something on you. You need to pay X amount of money, or we'll go with your story.
How's it rough?
Okay. Then the editorial for Front Page Africa says Minister Pierre's defense of President Bouakar's bloated delegation is a disgraceful betrayal of public trust. That's the editorial today. So when Joseph Bouakar campaigned for the presidency in 2023, his message was unmistakable that Liberia needed not just a change in leadership, but a fundamental transformation in how government serves its people. His rescue mission mantra was rooted in premises of discipline, accountability, and a clean break from the excesses of the past, particularly the extravagance and fiscal recklessness of George Weah's administration. Bouakar promised to lead with humility and integrity, to restore decency to the governance, and to ensure that public resources will be used for public good, not political tourism. Today, that promise is hanging by a thread. The news that President Mbeka had led a massive government delegation of more than 23 individuals, with the number possibly ballooning to over 40, to the 9 Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TCAF9 in Japan, is not just disappointing, it is shameful, it is hypocritical, and it is a slap in the face of every Liberian who trusted him to lead differently. Even worse is the response from the Ministry of Information, Jerolinka Pierre, who rather than acknowledging the troubling contradiction, chose to defend the indefensible. His dismissive remark only deepened the public sense of betrayal. This is the editorial, and it's a long one from the Front Page Africa. Their disappointment and the hypocrisy, they are saying it is not only a betrayal, but it's a disgrace. Chief George, I know this is something that you may not want to talk about, but it made the front page of the paper. Is an editorial, and we have to give it a light of the day.
Mr. Gayman, the issue about what is being discussed. I mean, I think we're still playing lip service. We're taking it for a joke. I think we're not serious as a country. Until we can get serious, as I told you just before we came on the show, our guys, our TCA boys, and they had a rush to Kenija. They were on a live with the drug boss there, and I don't know when we are going to get out of this situation, but until the leaders of the country put seriousness to it, we'll just be in this cycle, and that's why the role of the journalists in Liberia is very important. And I'm saying, Mr. Moba, I don't know how often you guys meet as an organization. You have annual convention. I think your annual convention, you should invite some of us, invite some platform to attend, to be part of it, so that they can work and can share ideas together. You know, it's important. You know, okay. I mean, you check the platform. The platform. I was talking to our aide of the former president, Madam Salif, and she said, "Your platform, then how did you see women on your platform?" That's why I gave credit to Susan, to Sarah, and those for them who take the time to come out, to come out on these platforms to take their time. And Susan now, I think is getting early morning in her where she is.
Mm-hmm.
So she should be sleeping, but I mean, she's working tonight. She should be sleeping for work, but yet still she found time to come out, And Sarah would have been Sarah not to work, and that's what happened. And I know we're on a call yesterday, and Ben Sanvee was saying something. He said, somebody said, "Oh, somebody invited me to come on the platform, but who come and go there before they can go after me?" But then he said, "But you're in position recently, or in top position, and now we expect to be talking." Susan, Sarah, when they were not even part of the thing, you should come forward to get involved, to talk. Hopefully we just hire our first female reporter on the ground, and she's from what I think she will do. She'll be a good pick for us, because they are people who go out there and come forward. But it's heightening that we talk about this thing all day and only stop on the platform. That's why it's important. Mr. Moba, I will re-emphasize, you guys play a major role, because the politics is not only in Monrovia, it's in the rural areas. That's why you want to vote county. And if these things are we are simulcast on the local community station, the people, these things, they take it serious. And one thing we also talk about too, for our mothers, our aunties who can only listen to the vernacular. How can we put this thing in the vernacular to tell them, so after the show finish, it's okay, Let me tell you in manner what the people were saying on that show for the last 2 hours. They summarized it in 5 minutes. They tell people what was saying. Say one man they called Mr. John Brown. He said the money intended for your country here, for the hospital, the school. They had the money. So Chairman Bailey said something. He said they did the audit in the legislature. People will run after the law because they will run after them because the kind of stealing that the people do over there is no joke. That's why you see when it comes to election time, everybody is fighting right now. Watch the space. We're in 2025, right? Almost in 2026. By end of next year, you'll see them getting closer to the very platform now. Watch it. They will say, "Give me where it takes for me to appear on that show, please." I want a message to go. Those are calling, and that's why I love the platform. Nobody here, their views are set as sanctioned. No, if you hear something you thought like before I came on the show, one of my beginning from Rwanda called me and said, he gave me some news. I said, again, that means that I can't bring her on the station here. If I bring her, it will be a bubble show in the whole country. They'll say, so at the beginning, I can't tell that one. And I want that for me to talk. Because they will say to money, you got to get the proof. We bring that kind of story forward. But so I pray that we can work together and let's do something better. But right now, the way we're going, I don't think we are winning the war, winning the battle.
Hector Moroba, real quick here. They said here, front page, the Liberian investigator is breaking the news here. It said they say no to drug campaign launched as a grassroots movement to combat substance abuse is now embroiled in an internal power struggle after one of its legitimate formation person have registered the business, got a business certification August the 12th, 2025 by the Liberian Business Registry, lists the organization as a non-profit under the name Say No to Drugs. The entity is registered at ELWA Junction, Painesville, with the Liberian National Wrestling Ama Giddings, named above the owner, registered agent, and a sole board member. Now nobody can use that name. She owns it. Not only that, but she has also applied to the Liberian government for tax exempt status. So Wrestling Ama Giddings now owns, they say no to drugs as a private entity. She owns it. She has basically trademarked it. She applied for tax exempt from the government. So everything that has to do with drugs going on now through Say No to Drug has to go through her. She's the sole proprietor and the owner, and she applied for tax exempt. Isn't this what we are talking about, Honorable Moroba? This is the deception that Tomalin George is talking about. This is terrible.
Exactly so. You can't. This is a property. You want to say intellectual whatsoever. Of a group of people, and especially as it relates to this thing, drug we're talking about. What? This one is not even a government issue. It's not even a government issue. I think any meaningful Liberian can stand and sue this person. But again, if you sue, where does the case go? How does it end? But this is far beyond deception. This is complete wickedness. This is complete wickedness. Again, like we say, this is Liberia, Mr. Gayman. And people do these things because the people who are way up, they see them doing these things and there's no penalty. So, if we're dealing with the people at the top, they're doing this thing and they're being penalized, no ordinary person is that your money doing it. See, it's now in the press, and what comes out of it? This person should be called immediately, because we're talking about substance that is claiming the lives of thousands of Liberian children. People converge and say no to drugs, and you take it now as your personal property. I mean, for me, it's criminal in nature.
Well, it's kind of late on your end. Yeah, it's kind of late on your end. We will go around one more time and then ask you for your parting comments. I know it's very, very late. Mr. Nagbe?
Can I just ask Mr. Maluba a question, please?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What was your reaction as a person into the media with the statement DeLon made just recent time that journalists beg and stuff like that?
Oh, what you said recently?
Yeah, he made a statement like that recent time. Journalists are just begging people and stuff, and these were the same journalists that he was behind. No, I said from you being a media, what's your take on Darius DeLon's statement that he made recent time about journalists begging him and so on and begging the journalists that go around covering stories, they're always begging for $10, $5, $6, and so on.
Yeah, again, I'll answer from two perspectives. One is that sometimes it's often said when you cook yourself in old cup, the dish you with baboon steak.
Right.
So those journalists who pass around begging, Senator Dillon and others refer to them in like that. But again, you as a leader, you must know how to guard your utterance. How you speak to certain people, no matter how little they bring themselves to you. That's why you are a leader. You must speak in a way that your speech or your presentation depict the leadership that you say you are part of. So that's all I can say. And these people know these politicians, and they will go and bring themselves so low to them. We had a gathering in Buchanan this gone Saturday when I met with a couple of journalists, and the same thing I told them. I said my 22 years of practice, no one human being in this country, in Liberia, not just Baso, can ever say Heto asked me for Kato. Not one individual, no one person will ever say I ever blackmail because I want a cent for you. And I was just saying, so once you are like that, you elevate yourself, you are respected. Nobody will look down upon you. Even if you don't have it, but preserve that respect. This profession is a noble profession. So if you bring yourself low, Dillon and other people, they will speak to you the way they speak to you. But again, as a leader, you must know how to coin your word, know how to say.
Good. Mr. Marva, it's been an honor to have you here. Give us your parting words. I know it's kind of late there. You're a family man. I know your wife and children waiting for you. Plus, it's too late. It's 12 o'clock. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. It was yeah, sure. Yeah. So thanks to all of you. Thanks, for this platform. Thanks for keeping this platform up, and thanks for the invitation. It was insightful. I hope we can continue start the conversation on collaboration so that we can extend these meaningful conversations to our people so that they get educated and get informed, because this is, for me, I always say the reason for radio station is to inform people, to educate people. Any other thing like entertainment is just something added, but people must be informed. People should be educated. Knowledge is power. Information is power. So I want to be grateful to all of you on this platform for the power they bring it to the people through education and information. Thank you so much.
And how do you close your show on Radio Besan? Close your show. Close Radio Besan, because I know they're waiting for you to say how do you close your show on Radio Besan?
No, I'm not as control now. So the person I control will be able to close the show. I mean, the real lane though, but I mean, I can't say because I think Alpha, one of the guys are in the queue. Yeah.
Okay, so tell Alpha next time we say Radio Besan. See you next time, and God bless. Thank you, Mr. Morova, for coming on. And somebody from management will be getting in touch with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks to the entire team.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Well, Chief.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. It was
you wanted to reach the entire country. Now you find out this is how you can do it. You can now get your message. Your third link candidate can now get a message out all the way to Barobo and get to the people. The people in Monrovia, just catering to people in that small Monrovia. Just imagine if you're outside of Monrovia, they don't want to deal with you. Like you say, until election time, and they start coming to you. But you are saying we're going to start early, start educating our folks. It is incumbent upon them. The decision to make. That's what we're living by, and we have to take the lead in educating our folks. Victor, what's your take on the show?
Well, I mean, it's been great, Mr. Mulva. It was really great having him on. A lot of perspective he brought. I was a little bit kind of shocked that the rural radio network is not being taken advantage of by the government. I was shocked by that. I mean, if no other program is running our program, I would think they will run the anti-drug program or several anti-drug sensitization programs on those radios, but I was surprised. And now this, as we are even on air here, people are trying to profit from this campaign. This lady is registered as the sole proprietor and board member of this. How is that? How does that? I don't understand that. And she's authorized to solicit. Yes.
I know. I've been hearing her talking yesterday. I've been busy today. What's the story? What's happening?
I dropped it in the chat room, Chief. There is a story in the Liberian Investigator. Jerome read a relevant part of it, but the Say No to Drug campaign has been registered by a sole proprietor, has been registered under an individual who now becomes the owner. She registered with the Liberia Business Registry. She got a certificate, the Giddings lady. And she is the
Rosalind Ama Giddings.
Yes.
Oh wow.
She's now the owner. She applied for tax exempt. So now she's going to be soliciting, collecting money, running the whole show on her auspices as basically she's the sole proprietor because she's the owner board member and she's out of
she privatized the whole effort. It's now and she's authorized to solicit assistance from anywhere, locally, internationally, receive gifts. How does that make any sense at all?
So all the people, so that means the woman hoodwinked all the people that were
her. It's the name Giddings, okay? If they gotta have network with the government to put it in through so fast,
so quickly.
Yeah, to get exempt certificate.
So the government, that whole thing was like
stage managed. I told you guys here when I'm talking, you think I'm joking. Didn't I tell you that this was stage managed?
Yeah.
I told you, I said just like you were chasing the rogue, and the rogue joined the crowd and saying roll, and we don't know who the rogue is because the rogue is among us. Front Page Africa reported that the police chief printed 50 dozens of shirts. 50 dozens. Do you know that 50 times 12?
And what was the purpose of Waka wearing the t-shirt?
That's why we are saying
Say no to drugs.
The government sponsored this thing. And this is, and I mean, for some of us who have been in this thing for a long time, you can smell this thing when it's coming. How can they have an event and they say, there's no organizer, there's no name to it, it was spontaneous? How is that possible? Now we're finding out that the Giddings, while we were doing this, sent the 12. She had basically trademarked the name Say No to Drugs. So everything associated with saying no to drugs now have to go through her because she's the CEO and the sole proprietor of that name.
Yeah.
This is let me
crazy.
welcome the dean, Honorable Pewee. Welcome.
Thank you. And I listened to that portion of the discussion just now. I think it's just quite unfortunate, and that's the reason why the country is not. I mean, a lot of serious things are happening in the country, and we give credence to those things. People trying to, and the reason behind this is to make some money on people. Then,
of course.
That's sincere about it. So the government should come out and dismiss that immediately. It's to make some money behind this thing. The thing is not about our children, our young comrades that are being damaged by this menace, but the whole thing is about profiteering behind the whole nonsense they own. What the hell are you talking about? You want to get a trademark name for? I brought the innovation, or I invented it, or I did this, I did that. So, and then money coming, and the government should give me the money. You think that thing about saying no to drugs is about getting a trademark name? It's just a match. Everybody came out to show the support for the fight against drugs. That's all. It's funny that the government not take the authority to fight drugs. That come on, man. I mean, it can make people so tired and going to the room.
They said the incorporation document obtained by the Liberian investigators show Mrs. Giddens as the only director, contrary to the campaign initial community-driven spirit. They also authorized the NGO to receive gifts, donations, other financial support from both domestic and international sources. The registration is valid until August 6, 2026, subject to renewal. The shift has sparked unease among activists who accuse the leadership of sidelining the original purpose. What began as a movement to fight substance abuse is now being transitioned into a business-oriented venture, said one community observer, citing the group request for tax exempt under the Liberian law. Wow. Susan, we were just talking about, Mobile was just talking about up to 4 people die daily that they know of.
Okay.
And now somebody is now capitalizing as they're going to capitalize on the death and the misfortune of these children, of Liberian people. Now she's asking the international community, the local government, every money that comes through now, donation, gift, have to go to her. Her name is Rosalind Amma Giddens, the sole proprietor of this organization. What a shame.
And Susan is coming in. One of the organizing members, I guess, Sonny Cully, has resigned. I don't think she should resign. I think she should challenge this in court. I don't think resigning really is the right way to go. And I understand the frustration that someone will resign over, but I don't think they should resign, because now you're leaving it to this person to run. I think they should challenge it. They should go to court on it and challenge this.
But Honorable George, the woman felt used. Okay, she says the beginning was that this thing was. I'm talking about the Cully lady. She said there was a community thing. They thought it was, and they all got together, not knowing why they were doing everything else. Other people were in the background. They had a motive. I mean, this woman had planned this thing since August the 12th.
Oh, who not the Giddens woman?
Rosalind Giddens, yes.
Was you planning alone?
No, while the people were doing all this, she had planned this thing about incorporating and all of that. While other people were working as a community uprising, she had planned her thing, registered the business, and put her name on it. She's the owner and all that. And so some of the folks felt used and they are quitting. But like Mr. Nagbe saying, quitting will just give her the avenue to take it. They shouldn't quit. They should fight this.
They should fight it.
I mean, they're undermining the whole fight.
Yeah.
Like we've been seeing over the last couple of days. Young people are dying. People are dying. And the thing is that there are not many people there to educate the people about the drug issue. And to even go after like I saw on the video just now, a live video from closing argument page, before God the show. They arrested us, females arrested. I think I saw 4 of them. Handcuffing them, and then one of them tell the boss, and your pa, the Johnny asking us, your pa sent me. I mean, give me the man cheek. Give me the train cheek, you know. It's for a joke. Look, I can bet you they're not alone. Look, and then one thing somebody tell me last night too, you gotta be careful at the airport nowadays. You know, your luggage, somebody can change the tag, and then when you get it, say, oh, by the time your tag pack, your luggage pack, then people say, oh yeah. But then they just want you to pack the luggage for them and so forth. They will accuse you of bringing drugs in the country. But look, I'll end on this. The issue of the drug is not the end users. There are people who are involved. Okay? Yeah, you heard the LDA director said it. Okay? I plan to bring Fadiga brother and Ebi Korana, and then put aside, but they can't talk about the real issue, the drug issue, like they encountered there. They will explain to you a lot of stuff. What happened? And that thing is a big business. It's a big business. You saw what happened in the last administration. $100 million worth for drug. They say the case, the government lost the case. Can you imagine? And Fofana, most of the drugs were brought in through frozen food. Frozen food. And they gave people RPDs. According to the former Kamara minister, he said when he took over, he had to cancel over 600 RPDs for frozen food alone. So that thing is a cartel. It's bigger than that. And if they really go after it, they want to end that thing on drug, they'll find all the big guns involved. They'll find them. They'll bring them to book. You see, like example, the Democrats in America, the Republicans, what they're doing now. The 2 guys are saying that when they come back from recess next week, they're going to subpoena the Epstein files. They ask the Democrat, he said, whether a Democrat part of that file, we care. That didn't count. So what happens to do? Say, look, if a member of the ruling party, if my party, my official part of this thing, that bring in the book. Let's stop this thing. We shouldn't play politics with it. Bring in the book.
This is your man built on that in that thing. Built.
Hey, bring that. But Bill ain't gonna be on the ball. They'll bring that. But you know, Bobby, something they're not going to do. What they get high profile in handcuffs and say, yeah, they're supposed to put up bringing drugs to the country.
You see how man built his own name and be in there.
Pewee, the name Guineans. I mean, we're talking about way up there now.
Yeah.
But remember, you want put it in. You want bring my friend Guinea that he involved.
I didn't call no name. I'm saying the name is Pewee. The name is very unique, and it's a power broken name in the country. So hey, I can see how can one person, register a business as the sole CEO. And the sole proprietor, even when you register in a business asking for board of directors, how can you be the sole proprietor of a business and the government allow that to go through? How is that possible?
How do they allow that to go through? Sorry,
No. Coming first and foremost, it's possible for that to happen. You do that across the world globally. You can even do that here. Sole proprietor, you can do that. One person can sign on a business, even in the world most powerful country.
But this is not a business. This is a non-profit.
Yeah, you can. One person can still run a non-profit.
No.
Go ahead, do your research on that. No. My point is that I thought for the fight against drugs should not be politicized, or no one should do it as a profiteering matter. But one person can also register a non-profit.
No.
That is legal. That is legal. Even here.
My input and Jerome, as you come, my input was, how is it that anyone sitting, any of it will see the no to drug campaign? There's nobody in Liberia who doesn't know about it, and we're not raising a red flag.
Exactly. That particular nomenclature, the no to drugs campaign for Liberia, should not be personalized by any individual. That's my point. And again, the name. Anybody can get that name, to be frank, and that will be and you see, and that's why anybody will have the name, whatsoever you call it. But what I'm detesting is that for the person to push to profiteer from the fight against drugs. It's a very paramount thing to the country, and it's something that is hitting home to every sector of our country, every family members in the country. Personally, some of us are personally somehow relative, distant cousins, auntie children are involved. It is not directly immediate, but some distant family. So it is from that cycle that we are all collectively speaking against these things. But for somebody to come in and kneel on doing that, and the government sit, I don't know who sit there at the business registry to just, the National Business Registry to just allow this, and they didn't flag anything to notice this. And then other people now hitting back. I'm getting information that other people hitting back argument, but I think it's more the fight. We cannot do that. We cannot politicize it. We cannot personalize it. And we shouldn't do as a money-making venture for anyone to use that, to tap into that and to start extorting money for international partners, international organizations, local NGOs, and the rest of that. So the intent is to do that, have it registered, incorporated, and begin to maximize some money for it. That's the intent, and this is totally unacceptable. And I think there will have to be some check put in place to those that are engaged in doing that. It's quite unfortunate, very well unfortunate.
Well, Honorable Pewee and Honorable George, I was the Vice President for Minority Affairs at the Chamber, and my job was to help people register their businesses and nonprofit. You can do everything you want to do. You can file your paper and do all that stuff. The state is going to get back to you. Say, send your article of incorporation. That entails your vision, your mission, your boards, and even the desolation statement. All of that has to be filed before you be recognized as an organization. So one person cannot, there's no way one person will be registered as the CEO, board of directors. Then who is the oversight? Who does the oversight? Who does, what's the vision? What's the mission? All of that has to be part of the package.
I'm not 100% sure that that on the book, again, I stand corrected here. I'm not 100% sure that the law of our country, I don't know in terms of the business registry.
You're right too now, because Liberia is a different animal.
That's what I'm saying. So I tend to be corrected here. I don't think if there's something in the book you have to be, if one person can do or not. That I wouldn't, because that's a non-profit book. In terms of for profit, yes, that I know it's possible. But more or less beyond that, given the problem is that why should we even indulge into that? Who the hell is thinking about doing that? That's the first and foremost thing. You know, it is disgusting to even hear that people will try to use this as a means of getting money, and the person even saying that government should start sponsoring them and all those things. The thing that are playing wrong, these things are damaging the life of a lot of brilliant young people in the country. These are things that got the propensity of bringing the country down if care is not taken. And then one person where with whatsoever knife move, and she should be disgraced and exposed and make shame on a serious note. Maybe disgrace is hard, but to expose the person and immediately put this to stop, and rather the appropriate cost for the fight against drugs. The intent of this is not to push one person in the corner to get people flying around, usually sending it across the world or across the country, across the region for support, personal support. The intent is to rather the people, the communities, the very communities in the country, across the 15 political subdivisions of the country. You rally the communities. Then you also send signal to the government that the government, there's about time that you put into place all of the measures, all of the necessary resources to fight this monster. These people that are behind it, for instance, there's the time government put all of the resources to bear. and say, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And you do that. And that's why that's part of the reason why everybody came out the way they came out to show support to this. It's not about one person go sit in the corner there to begin the process of extorting money and say you're going to do this. Shame on whosoever that did that. It's unacceptable. And I think people should come out and speak against it. Other than that, and I'm going to spoil the whole thing. And that's one of the reasons the fight against drugs have now been successful for many, many years. And I don't think there will maybe another mirage or showboating here. Then the senior government officials, I'm seeing security apparatus there themselves are behind those guys that are getting the jobs. You go into, I saw them arresting one almost 80-year-old man last time. Come on. Somebody gave the job. So you have to find the root cause. Where is the jobs coming from? Who are the people behind bringing the jobs in the country? And you got one more. You don't think that partners are doing nothing behind the whole drugs thing?
But I know Susan, you gotta go. But isn't this what the guy was talking about? The press union guy. How can a police officer get caught transporting drugs? He's arrested and then he's released. And the media, the people that witness and follow the story, they reported the story, then the government turned around and arrested them and put them in jail.
Wow.
And charge them with contempt of court for accusing the court for releasing a police officer. Susan, a police officer was arrested for transporting drugs, and then they let him go.
Yeah, but the police officers and even the people from the DEA, according to the Farika brothers, they were accusing one another of drugs in the country. And it's not just the police officer. We saw the story of that girl, one woman. They said she's a, I don't know, pastor wife, or she's a well-known woman in Liberia. They caught her with huge portion of drugs just recent time. And according to what we have heard on social media is that the government lied that they jailed her, and the woman is not in jail. She's currently out of the country. So how can we fight something when the government is also involved into this whole drugs issue? When you see how after the protest, you see the involvement of the president wearing his say no to drugs, and at this moment,
what you do?
Yeah, the president wore he and Mamaka
Kaba, the war they say no to drugs.
Mamaka Ability.
Yeah. The way in which
they were wearing the shirt together at the executive mansion, yes.
Right. The way in which they embrace this thing. And I heard a lot of people saying on social media that a lot of the people that attended the protest, a lot of them were also involved into drugs, the drugs business in Liberia. So, and it's hard because you cannot go pointing fingers at people because we know some of them. I just don't want to call names here. We know some Liberian artists. We know some of them are involved into the whole drug stuff. But they were in our ring, they were in our protest because they went there to hear news. A lot of them that went down in it, they went for the protest. They went there to see if people will call names. So they were just there to gather information. So the government himself is involved into this drugs issue. What hurt me the most, Mr. Gilman, is the fact that we keep hearing the president's son. We keep hearing, even though it's allegation, we keep hearing the son is the one that importing the drugs from Buchanan. And there has been no statement from Joseph Boaka's son. All right. So if they want to implement something, for me, I know that whole protest was some type of charade. Because the fact that the government was able to embrace our protest quickly, he was able to take petition, he was able to meet the members of the protesters, which were Maria and the rest, after the protest. But he could not do that when Malu and the rest went out to protest. and he could not even take their petition up to this stage. They're planning another protest. That's when you know that the governments, they themselves, they know what's going on in the country.
Wow.
All right. And we see our children on the street lying on the ground. Every day they're dying. This moment, there is no rehab. They're not even constructing anything. They're not implementing anything. And I saw Darius DeLong with his hypocritical self posting a girl that just graduated just recent time. The girl did the journalist covered a story where the girl said that she can't believe she found herself in that situation. I reposted the video. DeLong now telling everybody say he wants to help this particular girl. This is not the only girl that's suffering in Liberia. There are tons of girls out there. You don't have to wait for a journalist to bring a story. As a sitting senator of the county, you lied to the Liberian people. The Liberian people invested money into that rehab that you built. Up to now, that rehab, we don't know how many people you have there. Tamale will defend that, say, oh, DeLong got people there. Well,
Susan, you be unfair to the senator.
That's fired.
To him.
I think Susan is right. The senator has the power to form policy that will serve the people across the country. Not run some 2-room place and say,
oh, that's wrong.
Honorable Pewee, you talk to us here about policy that will help.
He's already defended it, Jerome. Even if
yeah. And the thing about drugs, Mr. Gayman, before my brother, Mr. Pewee, come in, please give me.
You say somebody defend it?
You cannot just go take somebody from the drug.
No, I'm saying Tom is already
in a rehab home. You need to carry them in a rehab home and implement a lot of things. You don't just carry somebody and say, oh, because the person on drugs will keep them in their house for 4 months, and all of a sudden it's clear.
Documentary of that rehab center. Honestly, look, forget about the politics, right? I think they're not trying their best with that center.
No.
The best.
Honorable George. Pewee, let's talk about public policy that they made the senator for the whole country, right? I want to know, let Tomalin George tell me what policy that this man had put forth that have passed into law now, that they're looking for funding to help the entire country, not just one room place he got there. This is what we are talking about.
Zero policy. And I believe that they don't just on a bluff and trying to prove that he want to do something single-handedly. He's not sincere about anything. What they're doing, and he was using that also to make money off it from other people that were trying to pump some money through it. He was just on a basic there. That's zero. If he was sincere about what he started, there would have been the fact that he got the listening ear of the president, and there would have been some massive. And he got a proximity to the current pro tem is more than 5 and 6. One will imagine that there will be some legislative documentation proffered by himself in trying to put a broad-based policy prescription towards rehabilitating our young people or those that are suffering from the abuse of drugs. There will have been different detox methodology system put into place as to clearly defined, and the legislation would have defined it would have been directly under the Ministry of Health or under a particular institutions, and you pump that money to begin the process of not only centralizing it, but you decentralize it. The politicians should decentralize the whole fight and the rehabilitation process. Now, for instance, you build one in Central Liberia, you put one in, and Central Liberia will be responsible for. And that will be in Banga, for instance, around Banga. That will be in Lofa, Bon County, Nima County, probably, yes. And then you put one in the southeast. And you put one now in the greater Monrovia area of Moserado that will focus on out of Nagbe. Then you can put that somewhere in Moserado. Nagbe, Moserado, and that. We need a policy-driven legislation that can push us to begin the process of saying it is about time that we put into place these things. But there's nothing whatsoever. Everything the Delon is doing is cosmetic, on the basis of getting some news and getting some popularity. And I think time is running up for him because he's up for elections. And many Liberians now, particularly those in Montserrat, got to understand the kind of a way he plays politics. That yesterday he said the economy was in the water when other people were traveling. And then today he himself is traveling with the president on super business class. The economy is no longer in the water. So it is a difficult thing, Tony. I understand, yeah, people push these things to do them, but it's not for the sincere basis. It's not for the policy basis. Why would, if the was a non-state actor doing this, I would commend him. Why should a state actor be trying to individualize things that should be tackled by the policymaker, by policy major? You see, so that's my problem. And he's currently situated somewhere that he can leverage his position as senator of Montserrat County and push for major policy decisions that will affect those thousands of young people that are currently suffering from this dangerous thing they got addicted to. How can we put them in a detox program? And those kind of a detox programs that will go a long way in seeing them rehabilitated. And after the rehabilitation, they will not be resettled into society and then placed into. Some of these guys are very competent people. They are skilled, both skilled and unskilled. So we make use of the skill after the detox program. We make use of those are skilled. And after the detox program, also we put into place policy that we gear towards preparing those that are not skilled, developing them out of skilled element individuals. So, I mean, it is unfortunate that we always want to individualize development-oriented things in the country, and that will go nowhere because one person cannot sustain these things. You need to have policy in place, and that policy in place will give room for the national budget to support those kind of policies. Then what you do, you make it sustainable. And when you make it sustainable, then there will be some positive outcome coming from it. We don't even know how many persons have been rehabilitated from that camp. We don't even know the ability of the rehabilitation. Is it short-lived rehabilitation? Because some of those things can be short-lived rehabilitation. Immediately then they relapse. What are plans in terms of policy making also that whenever they relapse, what are plans we have in place that will protect, that will also put into place that will control or prevent that from happening? So we don't even know if it's a sustainable venture. So I mean, this is for me, when it started, I said, okay, yes, this is another thing someone is trying to do. But is it meant really to sustain? Can we sustain this? Can an individual sustain this kind of a thing? Absolutely no. So we need to have a holistic policy process that will go a long way in trying to struck the country moving forward. That's the kind of a thing we need. And we need that from people that already got the mantle of authority from the Liberian people, particularly elected lawmakers, can do these things.
Well,
okay. We'll send Mr. Gayman, please, right? We'll send our folks to do investigation by the whole Delon center. Mr. Gayman, the guys actually were going to play. We got new people working, new journalists on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They want to test it on the screen. Can you allow to test it?
Let's do it.
So Myean, you go ahead. Let's see. You test it.
I will let you guys go for today. I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for coming on.
That's okay. Bye for now.
Watch what the people play. Watch what they come and play. Watch it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll watch.
I'll go, Myean, go.
Oh, you showing Pewee?
I know. Pewee.
Pewee waving like Joseph Boyka. Yeah.
But I like what Gwen John Smith said. They can be sent women farms and small things that I mean, I would earn money. But
yeah, we saw it. One of the countries.
How do you think?
No. He wanted to play something from the studio.
I ain't played that. Myean, play now. You tell what you said.
We have one government is doing taking the homeless from the streets, the drug abuse people, they treat them, and they work in government by cleaning the city. They put them to work. They clean the city. They do a lot of great stuff around the city, and they earning income.
And if the government can look, if they can cut down on most of the look, let's be frank. Look at our 5 elected officials. See the budget.
Yeah.
Almost $12 million. Can you imagine the president, the vice president, the speaker, the deputy speaker, they put them. Their budget alone.
Yeah.
If they cut and put money into the sectors, but no, man, but the Liberian people again, our own people, they will vote for these people tomorrow again. They will vote for them.
That's what Puffer does, Josh.
They go on Facebook. When they criticize them, they be defending because guess what? They get a small joy, guess what? They defending. Then look at your inbox and say, man, not easy. But then you defend the people, you defend the people. Man, Papa.
No. The deputy assistant minister of information, Mr. Nyenwolo, that's what he said. He said there is a budget line item for the rescue defender, or they call them. Their job is to buy a scratch car, give the kids per dime, and they just go on social media, follow everybody, and desecrate your writing, whatever it is you're doing. That it's a strategy. So when the people are poor and destitute, I mean, $20 with country like Liberia where people are poor and destitute, giving somebody $50 to vote for you, to them, they think it's a blessing.
And look, and President Baga could be one of the most consequential president for our country, for the fact that even with his length of public service and his age, that he has nothing to lose. He's not beholden to anybody. He's not beholden to anybody, you know. He said, like, I mean, he already been president. I mean, the woman retired from the president for 6 years. I mean, I'm sure he and family, the guys, they'll be good to live for the rest of their lives, you know. He could be he could do a lot of stuff. He can, right now, he has control of the legislature. He can do a reform. That whole the constitutional reform, something like they say, the presidential term, you can cut it down from 6 years. This House, the representative term, the Senate term, you can cut it down. That's what you can do, and you can take the national budget and put something. Man, look, there you go. But then we tell the people, when you bring good person to be president, to run for president, that person they will just throw away. They want to know. Yeah.
Well, guys, let's close on the while the guys. The EPA is cracking down on noise pollution. This one here, I think we all got to agree. The Liberia Environmental Protection Agency is taking on 2 major environmental challenges, launching a nationwide crackdown on noise pollution and advancing the nation's first climate change law. Speaking Tuesday at the Ministry of Information, the press conference, the EPA said Dr. Wolo Emmanuel Uriel Yakpawolo.
Yeah.
And a new measure to control the widespread use of loudspeakers in churches, mosques, nightclubs, funeral homes, and on city streets. Nagbe, I think this one you gotta agree with the mayor.
I absolutely agree. 100%. The noise in Monrovia is out of this world. I mean, where do you run from it? By 6, 7 in the morning, first you wake up with those children selling the orange here, buy your orange here. That's what wakes you up. And then you're talking about those tirade people, all night. Sometimes they have the 30-day tirade running, it's something has to be done. I am in 100% support of any attempt being made to reduce the noise level in Monrovia.
And every corner is a prophet, a new prophet, a new evangelist. I mean, churches, the mosques, now they're modern day now. Why you need loudspeaker in the church? to bring people to church when it's on your phone. Just say your phone. Everybody has a phone. So why do you need to be? The reason for the bell and all those things during the old day was to wake you up and tell you it's time to go to church. But it's on your phone. You got, why are they still doing this? They're blasting it. You remember what her name? Was it Banky? The former was it Banky? Banky King Akaleli, when she went into one of the churches and unplugged all the speakers and everything, because the lady house next door, the church people, they just blasting the music. The woman says she got up just went and said, "No, I just unplugged everything and said, you get out."
Yeah, but I mean, it's sensitive. You know, why you do that? You just play.
Yeah.
I'll talk to somebody from Liberia today. Yeah, in the background, they get out that ongoing thing. Orange sky. What's that?
Yeah, it's crazy. And they get a little recording attached to that, you know,
and just keep rolling.
It's just looping, yeah, just going.
But again, then you know, again, the people when you're driving in the city, the people are suffering. The president said he promised that during his administration, he won't any child you see selling in his street selling during school hours, it will not happen, but it's happening still.
Yeah.
And I was saying, look, and when you see the officials, then most of them left from here, I think that the whole position in the country, they run the country. You see that the way they're moving. They're living large.
Of course.
And the people are struggling, but the people again, our people think money. You think say they will say, okay, let's try the person. They will tell you, yeah, we're suffering. But when it comes, election time comes, they'll be the one vote again. You'll see that again, and then the thing again, I already see all the thing about giving people free t-shirt and buying food to people. The people need clothes. Look, so I still wear Mr. Gayman. There's a lady out in Liberia one time. It's still they do away, right? Were insulting to a lady.
Yeah.
Friends, you know better.
Right.
So what's that t-shirt there? It when you read the t-shirt, it was insulting to her.
Yeah.
You know? And I said, I want you to know what you're wearing.
No.
They clothes away. But the things you're wearing, I said, I want to know what you're wearing. It's wearing that somebody can't tell her, you say, oh, what it mean? Yeah, but insulting to her. But and then I want you to give people clothes, like, bro, don't get people clothes and then I say, no, don't get the people selling clothes. Because you know I'm going to put need clothes, people desperate. But it's a struggle in the country. It's struggling.
Look, I was in Liberia for the first campaign between George Weah and Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I saw one guy with about 10 t-shirts on, right? So I went, I said, who are you voting for? He said, doing the Robert Sirleaf thing. I was down there doing Robert Sirleaf when he was running against George Weah. This guy was just going from station to station collecting shirts. So he had about 10, I'm talking about real 10.
Yeah.
He said, listen, he said, all my children got shot to go to school now. All my children got shot to go to school. So I said, who you ready for this? Then he went at the bottom of the 10 shirt and put on the one that said CDC, I'm voting for George Weah. I said, you kidding me? You voting for George Weah? He said, yeah. During the senatorial election.
He wore everybody t-shirt.
He wore everybody t-shirt. Then at the bottom, the last one was George Weah. He said, I know I voted for George Weah, but all the way, my children for school. I got uniform for all of them. 10.
Then some of them too, they go, and then you see that. They put her in the rally, they go there, they wear the t-shirt, eat the poor food, and they say, we're on loan. We're fooling you on loan. I mean, at that moment, you're making fun of yourself, but guess what? And they don't want you to struggle now.
Yeah.
If you want to vote for somebody, vote on. Look, you are to scrutinize the person. That why I tell people, sometimes I know debate not auto hero, but at least if you have, let's have someone mark debate, in debates and thing. That person bring a policy on the floor, tell you what it will do. But that when the person tell you what it will do, yeah, arrest agenda now is on left support because they're struggling. Money been hard. And be frank, there's a budget shortfall now. I think a hearing they got to do recasting again.
Yeah.
You mean the rescue?
And the president is there, and most of these visits there, and it's just, it's a normal thing. They will say, the Germany Prime Minister promised that you continue to support Liberia. I will say, but it will say the Germany company or factory say they're going to be coming, they're going to establish a factory in Liberia to create jobs and so forth, to manufacture something in Liberia. Then we're talking serious thing. But all of these things are just waste of time, bro. And it's sad. It's sad.
And you know, when you're saying the chief, the say you keep talking about the government, but in the midst of all of this, every little savings helps. You're talking about what, 23 to some people say 40% delegation, you know, going out of the country. All of these things are bleeding the treasury. You know, we gotta save every penny we can. But
I'll tell a friend, I said, look, in Liberia, I said, look, American people can sit in there. I said, do you know that?
Yeah.
I said, right now, most of the people now that come and reach 65-year-old, they can decide to take their pension. And guess what? Someone will get what, $3,000-4,000 every month. They'll get the money. And besides that money they're getting, that's they're getting, they get a 401k that they now invest in many years. That got almost $200,000-300,000 in that 401k.
Yeah.
I said, so when people come like, bro, you're costing some money, I think they really care, and then mind you, the children are all in college, when they graduated, they are working, doing their own stuff. So guess what? If Mr. Nagbe said, the Nagbe we're having fun, it's going to be getting money. Now he get money, you see, because he working, he cool. I get hurt, I get filled out because he can do it. So because tomorrow you're in Liberia, you in your rocking chair, you're on your hammer. The children say Father's Day, Daddy will come in, Daddy, where you want to go for Father's Day? Daddy wants to send you to Germany for Father's Day, wants to send you to the Dominican Republic. You can fly there. And then so it's not like the person in politics so they want job. No, they can be a very great help to the country. If they get job tomorrow, they bring some honesty to the job. Everybody come there, everybody can hustle. No, some people are there. That's why people in America come to America. They build a home already in Liberia. The homes are there. They go home for vacation. They get in the parking lot, drive their car, go places, and they can enjoy themselves and carry back home. They get the children there all getting their masters in different fees. When they are lawyers, doctors, if the children, if the party decide say, okay, I want cheap. They'll say, Daddy, we're not gonna sit down there, you be eating dry. No.
Yeah.
We'll pay for your nurse, pay for your cook and everything. So you don't. I mean, it's opportunity to be in America.
Some of these places you retire with your full medical benefits. You know.
Yeah. But you remember when the president, the first 2 trips he made, they made a big announcement that Georgia Tech and all these schools were going to give us scholarship. They were going to do this, they're going to do that. Then the Basa people started dancing. They came from Japan, China, and they said, we got $3 billion Grand Basa country. You're going to be doing oil refinery. We're going to be doing this. We were all dancing.
Reality coming out because look, it's coming. And when you tell them, they say, all the trade we're making, but next year, it will come into fruition. The other one told me say by 2029. I said election year.
Yeah. Like when they will start breaking ground.
But
I got a meeting coming up, man. I'll see you.
Yeah, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Hey, Chief, thank you very much. Guys, listen, tomorrow same time we'll be here discussing issues in Liberia. Like Tomalin George have always said, if you have somebody in mind that you want to bring on, that you think we should bring on, you got contact, send it to us. Like the person Kamara, they have some expertise they want to talk about. We have no problem bringing them on. Let's talk it. This is your platform, the people's platform. Let's talk about it. Don't give up on Liberia. Don't give up. We're going to keep talking and talking and talking. And sometimes the people in Liberia have a point. Most of the problem in Liberia comes from the diaspora, come from us. We've been going through the newspaper headlines. Every problem in that place is associated with somebody from Liberia, whether it's Josiah Joka, it's Musa, whether it's Dukile, you name it, all the names that have issues in Liberia in the front pages, they are from the diaspora. So when the people start getting on us, we have to reason with them too. We confuse the folks. You say you're coming to help us, but when you're coming, you make things worse. Chinese man can bring one of business, you're rob him, then you beat him, then you call the police to deport the man the same day. How can police deport someone?
If I was talking about that, we'll have somebody will be here on Friday. If I
Good.
hope I know I'm traveling Friday, but if if my trip is very early, so I'm sure I'll be on the show. By the time I'll be all set to where I'm going. I will be on that show. The person coming to talk about that Chinese man issue.
Please.
The person coming can give the whole story about the Chinese man issue with the MPA boss, and then tomorrow we'll have the offenses. The guy they call him the harmonization czar. That's the guy.
Oh yes.
He understands the harmonization stuff, and also I think tomorrow. Somebody said that the no to drugs people will be here too. Someone that will be here.
Which one?
I think I'll ask our team. They said one of them will be here tomorrow to light on what you were discussing earlier. So
good.
Yeah. So we'll look forward.
I mean, we got a document here. So I mean, let her come and say what I want to say. We know her name is whatever her name is. We got an article. It was a great article rating with proof. Leonard Dudu himself wrote that article, so you know it's.
Your man can't break. You can't want to talk about somebody investigating things. He won't be sure saying what.
Listen, all these. Who knows? His family was targeted.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, his family was targeted because one of his family members worked for the CDC and professional person at the EPA. And when they came, they wanted to get rid of the person. The person said, listen, I'm a seditious, but I'm a civil servant. I've been here for years. From the early time, I've been here. They try to get rid of that person. The person fought it in court and won. So, they went after that person very, very strong. Say, your husband is this and that and this and that. They want to get rid. And, she said, you know what? You can say all you want to say. I'm a professional person. I'm here. I didn't come here because I'm a seditious. I came here because I have a master's degree in this. I've been working in the field for so long. This is why I'm here, and this is all my evaluation across all the different government. You can't come and say anything. So sometimes, but I will talk to him though. You gotta come and say it because I know he's not as comfortable yet as Rodney Sear. Rodney Sear is at a level now where nobody can do anything to him. But Chief, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So thank you so much. Okay. But end of next week, I will break the news of who will be the next chief of staff to the president. We'll let it burn it, but before we'll talk. So,
yeah, okay. I'm still holding high hope for my boy Anthony Kessley, my own boy from Philadelphia.
He's not in the run.
He not cost me entire now, but I still want because that's somebody I know.
We announced that what we'll say will be the fact. The person will be the president and minister of state who will replace Grace Bill. We announce the person's name and we'll talk. And by waiting for the public to be buried, for all respect for the ambassador of Grace Bill,
the family.
When I announce until he's buried, but President Baga already made a choice.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, you got a breaking news there. You see, that's why they call.
That Kehleboe, they ain't right. They ain't said something again. They ain't gonna talk. Kehleboe said the man, no other information.
Kehleboe, listen. This is what they call a teaser. The men I put a teaser out there, so you got a whole week.
You see, I try to be in the middle, independent. I won't be one side that no.
And that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but you want me to kind of guess it, want to be on one side? No, I can't do that.
Oh, you see, you so be like Waka, right? You the father of the nation. You can't be. You're not so take side, but Waka, they call him. The last time they put AI put the armor thing on him with a gun. They say he was what? He was witch hunting. They call him the witch hunter in chief. He had a gun and all that stuff. And I said, why they probably let the people doing like this? But that's what it is. Guys, tomorrow, same time, same place, the closing argument. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Gayman. Myean, are you available? You can do it?
I'm here, but my network is very, very bad. So I cannot be able to put it out.
When but you are home or you in the studio?
I'm home.
I see why. I see.
Yeah. I try putting it up, but my noise is bad. I don't want to upload anything. Even send the screenshot.
Yeah, but I know how to play that thing. I know how to do it.
So I mean, show you. You can just do it because I send in the WhatsApp chat room.
So what I can do now to play?
Yeah, so you have to do share screen. On your screen, area there you have to do share screen.
I'll go on the page.
No, it's not on the page. It's in your WhatsApp. So just go in your WhatsApp on your computer there.
Okay, on WhatsApp.
Yes, on the same computer there in the browser there.
On the browser,
yeah. So let me see. I think I have it here. Me just play it, then just do my screaming from here. Just be on the line a little bit. Let me see.
Okay.
Where I can play it from here. But it may not be like the way we want it. But me just play it. Let me play. Just be on the line a little bit. Let me play. Okay. So you seen it, right?
I seen it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let me play.
President Joseph Boyka Sr. has held high-level bilateral talks with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba in Yokohama, Japan, ahead of the Tokyo International Conference on African Development. The meeting focused on strengthening more than 60 years of ties between Liberia and Japan. Both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to closer cooperation in infrastructure, health, food security, and capacity building. President Boyka thanked the Japanese government for its sustained support, recalling Japan's role during the Ebola and COVID-19 crisis, and key projects such as the Japan Freeway extension and the Somalia Drive road reconstruction.
Tomalin.
He also encouraged Japanese
I can cut it off for you guys. I'm driving, but I can do it.
Oh, you can do it?
Yeah, I can do it right now.
Liberia on its
so you can
Okay, let me end it. Okay.